live. Happy Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday. I am so thankful that you guys are here with me today. I know we had some technical difficulties yesterday, but I got my drink. We're live today. Let me know how you guys are feeling. What are y'all sipping on today? We're going to have fun. I don't know how you guys are going to feel about this discussion today. Either you guys will really love me at the end of this, or some of y'all might not vibe as much as you did when you entered. But we're going to see how this goes. Yes, we are live. So for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Tynisha Renee, and I am going to be your lovely host for our first solo live stream on TynishaTalks. I'm so excited. So to give you guys a little bit of context with why we're doing these live streams, my channel has literally more than doubled within the past month, which I'm so thankful for. But I realized that it was very difficult for me to continue responding to every single comment on my videos, which I love to do. I love connecting with you guys. So these lives are usually going to take place on Wednesday for Wind Down Wednesday. But it's our chance to vibe, chop it up, very informal, but it's our way of getting to know one another and keeping that family feel. So before we get started, I thought that we could do a little bit of an icebreaker because I love to check in and see how you guys are doing. So let me know in the comments what your mental health score is, okay? Mental health score on a scale of 1 to 10, and then also one win that you had this week. A win can be something that you're proud of, something that you accomplished. If your week has not been good and you got out of bed, honey, that is a win. But let me know what you guys got going on because I love to hear from you guys. Talk to me. Mental health score 1 to 10 and one win that you've had this week. So I would say I'll start for myself. My mental health score is probably, I'm going to say an 8 out of 10. That's pretty average for me. One win this week would actually be coming on and doing this thing on live. I get really nervous. I know people are like, you're very outgoing and things like that, but we had technical difficulties. I was nervous, so I'm happy that I came in and showed up for you guys for this live. So that would be my win for the week so far. Talk to me. Mental health score and one win that you've had this week. Now, while I'm waiting for you guys to respond, just a little bit of housekeeping. As you can see, I'm a one-woman show tonight. So I really need you guys to give me that energy. Talk to me in the comments because that's what's going to continue the conversation. So if I see a comment that you guys leave that stands out to me, I'll pin it to the screen and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So let's see what we got. JC, you're a 7. When is that bro didn't mark himself? JC, I'm sending so much love your way. Please send me your information because I would love to send you some resources if you need to talk to someone. You are important. You're meant to be here, so we need you here. And I'm so thankful that you showed up tonight. You came here. That's all that matters. Much love to you. 9 out of 10 for Mr. Chavez. Subtract 1 because I had to return to work for my anniversary vacation. First of all, can we talk about how much it sucks when you go back to work after vacation? I feel like that first day, it drags so much because you're still in vacation mode. But shout out to you and your wife for celebrating your anniversary. I hope that it was super dope. We love Black love. So congratulations to y'all. You're 6 years. Yes. I'm trying to make it to find a man so I can get to year 1. So 6 years is amazing. Congratulations. Let's see what else we got. I'm about an 8. Your win is that you enrolled in an IT course. That's dope. I've actually been wanting to get into the IT computing field. I work with students who are in that field right now. So if I can help you in any kind of way, let me know. But that's awesome. Get your education going. Good. JC said, oh, your bro didn't. Well, we're sending the same love to your brother. So if he needs resources, I got y'all. What else we got? Okay. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And before we get started, I do want to give a special shout out to Mr. Chavez. Brother Chavez, for giving me this topic for tonight. We are going to be talking about what I have learned since starting TynishaTalks. I have had my YouTube channel for about 2 years now, and I have learned a lot about myself, about men, about how men and women interact with one another. And honey, I have learned a lot about these content creators out here, okay? Those red pill channels that you guys love so much. I've learned a lot about them. So, baby, we go in there. We're going to talk about it. So, again, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, but we are going to go ahead and get into it. One last housekeeping note. If you guys are feeling generous tonight and you do want to donate to my channel, I ask that you send a donation to the Cash App that's listed below. My last live, you guys were super dope and you sent super chats, but I didn't realize that YouTube takes 30% of that money. So we're not doing that tonight, okay? We're not doing that. So no pressure at all, but if you want to support the channel, then you can send it to the Cash App listed below. So what I have learned about myself since starting TynishaTalks. There comes a time in a woman's life where she sits and she realizes that she might be the problem. Okay? She might be the problem. And I know that you guys say that women don't really hold themselves accountable, but I'm telling you, a woman is going to have that moment of reflection. Chavis. Okay, Chavis. Mr. Chavis. I'm sorry, I'm going to get it right next time. But women have this moment of reflection where we realize that we might be the problem. And when a woman goes through that phase, she can either take accountability and adjust her actions, make change for the better, or she can deflect, point the finger at everybody else, lack accountability. And TynishaTalks realized that I was a part of the problem. Okay. I was a part of the problem in my romantic relationships. I was a part of the problem in my platonic relationships. I wasn't the problem. Notice I'm saying I'm a part of the problem. So I did realize this about myself. Okay. So I went through this whole period of therapy, self-reflection, talking to my exes, like, what was your experience like? What could I have done better? Talking to ex-friends that I fell off with. And I got a lot of good feedback about myself. So I definitely encourage that journey for any woman, especially, but any person. So then I start my YouTube channel. And I will say I have learned so much from you guys, just hearing different perspectives, especially the perspectives of people who don't agree with me. I am not one of those channels who expects everybody to agree with me. And I actually respect the people who challenge the way that I think. And they can do it in a tactful way because I learned something. And what I've learned from you guys, especially the men who watch my channel, is that I really didn't understand men at all. Okay. I did not understand men at all. So I want to talk a little bit about that. This notion of women not understanding men. And I'm not an expert, but I'm trying. I'm learning every day from you guys. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Why do you guys feel like women do not understand men? I have my ideas, but I would like to hear from you guys first. Why don't women understand men? Thank you. Much love and respect to y'all too. Talk to me. Why don't women understand men? It's all about us trying to understand each other. Okay, Jay. Let's bounce off of that because I had a conversation with someone recently who is a man, and his perspective is that men understand women more than women understand men. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that women understand men, or excuse me, men understand women more than women understand men? And if you agree with that, what is the reasoning for it? Good evening. Is it Tamikia? Good evening. Thank you for being here. We're just different. That's why. Emotions instead of logic. Okay. Mr. Chavis, Brother Chavis. I think I got it right that time. Some upbringing and mentalities are different. Can you expand on that a little bit more? The people want to know what you mean. Thank you. I'm glad you like my glasses. That's a good response too, Joseph. We're going to talk about that afterward. Brother Chavis, what do you mean by upbringings and mentalities are different? It's Tamika. Hey, Tamika. What's up, girl? Obviously. Brother Chavis, you take it too long to respond. We got to go over to this one. Let's go to Dope Conversation Podcast. They said women grow up in a world of lies. Everyone tells women lies in order to get things from them. Most women eventually believe the lies, I think. Very, very valid. How do you guys feel about that? Ooh, we getting some good answers. Okay. Men are raised to be almost emotionless. Don't cry, be tough. I do agree with that. Women are allowed the full spectrum of emotions. I agree. And I would say that we also normalize women not being able to manage their emotions because it's a woman thing to do. Very problematic. Yes. I believe men understand women more because the study is women. Women don't tend to understand studying men unless married. Yes. Tamika, yes. Let's talk about that because that's my hypothesis, okay? So my hypothesis is that we are now witnessing a generation of women who grew up in homes that were led by women, okay? We talk about this a lot. The men aren't present. The roles of men, they're being minimized. So when you are a woman and you're growing up in a household with nothing but women, you're surrounded by women, you have a very one-directional view of the world. You're seeing everything from a woman's perspective. Now, the person who I was having a conversation with, they also said that women don't have to understand men because they're not pursuing men, right? So as we know, men are usually the ones who pursue. So if they don't get women, they don't get women, if you know what I mean, okay? You got to understand women to get some action. So I do think that that is also very valid, but I think that women realize often too late that if you don't understand men, that you can't keep a man. So yes, men might have to understand women a little bit more initially, but in order for women to keep a man, that woman does need to understand how men operate. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about this, see how you feel about it. So my perspective, again, with women growing up in women-led households is that they don't have a lot of men showing them the ropes, right? A lot of men aren't there to put them on game, to understand what to look out for, what to do to be beneficial to a man, so on and so forth. So we're missing that whole entire perspective. And women, they might have males as friends, but it's a lot different if you're 18 years old and you have a friend who was also 18 and he's trying to tell you about men versus you being 18 years old and you have a mentor, a paternal figure, someone who is 40, 50, 60 years old who can show you what it means to be a man in multiple different phases, right? So I think that's the number one problem. The other thing is that when you grow up in a home like this, where it is led by women, most of the interaction that you have with men is going to be from a romantic perspective. Okay. Romantic perspective. And when I say romantic, most of those men are just trying to smash. So if you have a man who sees that you don't understand men and he just wants to smash, he's not going to put you up on game. Why would he put you up on game? Because then you probably wouldn't deal with him. You would be too smart. So that is my reasoning. I think it's multifaceted. One, women-led homes don't understand men. No men present to put women up on game. And then the men that they do encounter, the men who want them sexually, they're not going to put them up on game because then they won't even be able to smash because they're easily broken and love hard. Yes. So follow my train of thought. Okay. So if we're saying that some men won't tell women how men really think, right, as a way to use women in the way that they want, the question for you guys is, Do men really want to be understood? And we're talking about most men. Most men will complain that women don't understand men. But do you think that men want to be understood? Hey, Auntie, welcome to the chat. Happy to see you. I see a lot of this in the gender war. Yes, absolutely. Young girls being told safe words, how to be aware. We learn to be a spouse on the fly. Men and women don't understand each other. We learn how to be a spouse on the fly with no example. Absolutely. We're all out here struggling and we're all trying to figure it out. I would say the men who have standards want to be understood. The Black intellectual, can you please expand on that? Who are the men with standards? What do those men look like? Jay, I'm gonna get to your comment next. The men who have standards want to be understood. Men who lead must be understood. Okay. So Danielle Ventura and the Black intellectual will come back to you. Let me know when you're ready for your comment to show. Men who lead must be understood. Do you feel like those men are helping women understand them? Is the question. I guess the real question is men who have value. Do you think that these are the men who are just having sex with women and they don't see a future with them? Or are they only intentionally dating, only dealing with women that they see a future with? The men with standards want to be respected. Fair. Okay. I try to put my homegirls on game, but they don't want to hear me shaking my head. So that's on them if they keep making the same mistakes in dating. It is what it is. Okay. Yes, I think we can agree that there are some women who are very naive and they don't want to understand men. Like you hear information that probably is right, but you don't want to listen to it. That's valid. We are talking about the women who really want to understand men, but we feel like we are not getting honest responses from men when we try to understand them. Why does that happen? I think a lot of women don't want to understand men. Can we talk about that? Hold on now. So most women would say that they want to understand men, but you're saying that, wrong comment. You're saying that a lot of women don't want to understand men. So why do you feel like women don't want to understand men? Because that's working backwards. So why do you feel like a lot of women are working backwards? A lot of women in the sisterhood are on the down low and don't want to be judged. Down low as in they like other women, or down low as if they moving a little bit funny, being promiscuous, and they don't want to be judged based on that? Please clarify. I want to know what you guys think. I can tell the difference. This is no lie. When I was dating my wife, I told her I can tell the difference in a woman who had a strong, positive male presence in their life versus women who, I'm going to assume you meant didn't. Yes, I think that you can definitely tell that. Let the women know, because I think that this is a common sense statement, but from a male's perspective, debt-free dad, can you tell us what some of the differences are that you see in women who did have a positive male presence versus women who did not? Because that might help a lot of women so they're not moving funny. They don't see men as people. Most women live in a selective bubble, I found. Most of the time when they discuss relationships with men, they're looking for validation versus understanding. Yes, I have found, and I have learned this from YouTube as well, women are not the best with criticism or anything that doesn't seem like they're being praised. So I definitely do understand what you mean. They know how to communicate with the real man. Okay, so they know how to communicate better. The Dope Conversations podcast said they're seeking validation rather than understanding. I am baby low key cuffing. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this. Okay. This whole topic of women not understanding men, but men not putting women on game to be understood. Let's talk about girl code versus guy code. And women and men, y'all understand this concept. It doesn't need to be explained. Can y'all tell me what are one of the number one rules of girl code versus one of the number one rules of guy code? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more because I think this definitely plays into the dynamic that we're discussing. Number one rule of girl code versus number one rule of guy code. Auntie, if you're still in this chat, I know you know because we talk about this very frequently. So, a number one rule of girl code, if you and I are talking, what's one thing that you absolutely do not do? And men who are in the chat, when you talk about guy code, what is one thing that you absolutely do not do to your homies? Hey, Max, how are you? Thank you for joining the live. Guy code, bros before hoes. Go ahead and say it, Chavis. Bros before hoes. Absolutely. So here's the number one thing that I've noticed about girl code versus guy code. Girl code is mostly going to be you don't smash people that your friend used to deal with, right? Exes are off limits. So the bulk of girl code is literally just saying protect my territory or respect my territory. Don't touch anyone that I've dealt with. I find that guy code, the number one thing that men kind of go by is like an oath of silence, right? If you ask men too many questions about men, they literally won't answer. They feel like they've given up too much game. They can't tell the secrets of their homies. All of this stuff, right? Crazy earrings, crazy glasses. Gone are the days of modest women. Wow. 2022. I'm determined. Our level of modestness is determined by the glasses that we wear and the earrings that we wear. Okay. Thank you, Sean. I really do appreciate that. Anyway, like I was saying, girl code versus guy code. So if guy code is that you are not supposed to tell the secrets of men so that women can fully understand how men operate, I don't believe that a lot of men want to be understood. And I think this is a common frustration with a lot of women because you can't really say that people aren't making an effort to understand you if you're not trying to put women up on game because it would minimize the advantage that you have over women. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about that, though. I don't think that a lot of men want to be understood, honestly. There are some out there, yes, absolutely. But I think that while men are in their phase of, just wanting to run through women, they're not going to tell women how men operate because they don't benefit from it. Talk to me, JC. You said, wow. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking. So the question is, do men in general want to be understood? Because I don't know. I really don't know. I know that there are some good ones out there, but it's kind of frustrating to women if you talk about the minority of men. The majority of men, do they want to be understood by women? Max says you can put some women on game and they still wouldn't listen. That seems to be coming up a lot. Some women want to understand and listen. Others are on that Basura. Yes, Chavis, absolutely. What else we got? Okay. So that example that I gave, right? Because I think that a lot of men, again, will say that women don't understand or they don't want to understand. And I agree. There are a lot of women who don't want to understand. But then there are a lot of women who do. So I use this example to kind of show you guys that when you focus so heavy on your beliefs, you often miss the bigger picture of things, right? So men can say women don't understand men, right? So in this example I gave, women don't understand men. But women might turn around and say, no, it might be true that women don't understand men, but why is it? It could be a situation where women don't want to listen, but it could also be a situation where men just don't want to share certain things. They don't want to share their jewels, they don't want to share their gems that impact the way that they want to move with women. So, this notion of seeing things one-sided, I want to talk about that a little bit more. We're going to talk about red pill and woman sphere creators, okay? So I have been told that my channel is going in the direction of red pill content, which I thought was pretty interesting. And you guys can tell me what you guys think. So before I go into my thoughts about red pill or woman sphere creatives, which I feel like I don't see the term woman sphere as much as I do red pill. Red pill is like this buzzword that keeps going around the internet. What do you guys think of red pill creators? Do you think that red pill platforms are beneficial to resolving issues between men and women? And alternatively, women sphere creators, do you feel like these women-based platforms where women unite and they talk about their frustrations and they have unity and all these things, are they beneficial to the gender wars that we are seeing today? But sort of for real. Okay. Yeah. So Auntie says, so let's give it up for her. I call her Auntie because we have literally been friends since I was like 13, 14 years old. And that's the inside name that we have. So when I say Auntie, I'm talking about the person who's on the screen. So she says, what is red pill? I guess I've been under the rock. Okay, talk about that a little bit more. Okay, so a lot of people are asking, explain red pill and blue pill to me. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, chime in here. But my understanding of red pill and blue pill, it comes from the movie The Matrix, right? So people who take the blue pill, they're just very oblivious to the truth about society. It's kind of like an ignorance is bliss type of thing, right? Red pill is the idea that you are expanding your conscious and you're seeing the world for what it really is. So, James, I'll get to your comment too. So when they talk about red pill, it is used in relation to men. Like you'll see red pill and manosphere used kind of back. What is the dang word I'm looking for? You know what I'm saying? It's used back and forth. So they'll use them interchangeably. There we go, interchangeably. So red pill platforms are men basically coming together. They have awakened to the fact that women don't appreciate them. They're tired of being kind of shunned in society. And so they band together. And what I see is that they kind of release their frustrations. They shed their truths about their experiences with women. So Kevin Samuels would be a perfect example of a red pill platform. That is what he had. His content base was mostly men, even though some women did watch, but that was a place where men could kind of come together and talk about their experiences. So with that in mind, do you feel like red pill content is beneficial to gender wars, society, men and women dynamics? Let me know your thoughts. Oh my God. The comments about Cynthia G. You know, I have watched Cynthia G's content. I'm actually subscribed to her channel. I'll tell you guys what I think about red pill content. Actually, let me put this back up here. So Dope Conversations podcast said, I feel like I've noticed a shift in your content over time. It seems like you're starting to get it. Yes. I have actually been having moments of reflection within myself where I see that there are a lot of things that women do that are problematic. And I realized that I also saw the world from a very one-dimensional point of view. I was raised in a family that is nothing but women. And so kind of like I was saying earlier, a lot of the things that I learned was from that perspective. And some of those things were problematic. Like I was saying before, I realized that I am a part of the problem. I always wanted to be right, very stubborn, just not very emotional, had a wall up, all these different things, right? But because society would tell me that I'm smart and I'm pretty and things like that, I felt like everything was fine with me. And I think a lot of women do deal with that. Mm, is that is that why they call you a pick me? Yes, I think that is why they call me a pick me, which is so crazy because I love women. As a black woman, I have a special place in my heart for other black women. But another thing that I don't like is, part of my language, bullshit. When people make excuses for themselves, lack accountability, they never see that they're wrong. Those are the things that kind of bother me. And it's frustrating because it's like, how are we ever supposed to progress as a people if you feel like you're always right and everyone else is wrong? You're a human. No humans are perfect. Therefore, it is impossible for you to be 100% perfect and right all the time. And so I just kind of talk about those things. I give my honest perspective. I talk from my experiences. And yes, I have been called a pick me because I do that. So here's the thing, going back to this topic of red pill. What I personally don't like about red pill channels is that a lot, or women's sphere. So we're going to say red pill and women's sphere. A lot of it is very, very one sided, like I said before. I don't think that a person can learn anything if they only surround themselves with people who have the same perspectives as they do. And so when I see these red pill channels or these women's sphere channels, and I've watched the ones that you guys have recommended to me. Okay, I listen to you guys when you make those suggestions. I have yet to come across a channel that is a large platform, okay, that approaches their topics from a balanced perspective, okay? It's very interesting because women are also entering this red pill dynamic. And I find that with a lot of women, once they start getting traction on their channels, and you guys can tell me what you think, but it turns into a situation where it's kind of like bashing women to get the approval of men, right? And that's the one thing that I really don't respect. I think that you can speak to both audiences and not bash the other person just for approval, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. And that's kind of what bothers me when I hear people reference my content as a red pill channel. The Dope Conversation podcast said, I don't think red pill content seeks to be beneficial, to be honest. I think it just wants to get the truth out there and let people make their own choices based off of that information. What is the truth, though? Can we talk about that? The truth is very subjective. And I kind of, again, talked about this in my example. So a man can have a level of frustration about things that women do, and rightfully so, and vice versa. But if you're so focused on your experience and not listening to the experiences of other people and understanding why they might move the way they do, why they're interacting with you the way that they do, is that really the truth, or is that more of a biased perspective? Oh God. Saw comments about Kevin Samuels. Do we want to go there today? Like I said, some of y'all might not like me after this live stream. So, I mean, we can go there. I'm definitely, I got my drink and I'm ready to go there if y'all want to. The truth should not be subjective. Opinions can be. Okay. So, another thing that I've noticed with red pill channels, let me go through these comments. I'm sorry. Okay. So, LaQuaya, sorry, I hope you don't mind me saying your name on here. LaQuaya says that she likes red pill content. Okay. Gotcha. There's MacTow and red pill gone wrong, black pill. But red pill might be used against those who are aware or starting to be. I don't think I've ever heard of black pill. Red pill gone wrong. Can you give us an example of what a black pill channel would be? I think that will help put the pieces together. Because in my opinion, a lot of these red pill channels are black pill channels. I'm just letting you know that. I have literally spoken to creators, and I don't put people's names out there, but I have spoken to creators who literally don't resonate with the content that they're putting out there, but they know that you guys will respond to the content, and so they push it. And I think that's kind of what I was alluding to. A lot of people are putting out this red pill content because it's lucrative. you can make a lot of money playing off of people's emotions. And so they might not even agree with what they're saying for real, or they don't care about uniting men and women. They make money off of the division. And I think the biggest way to know that you're watching a malfunctioning red pill or woman's sphere channel is if you can't go in the comments and express your opinion that might be different than the people who watch it without people attacking you. Because it should be a platform, again, if it's focusing on uniting, where people can share their perspectives without fearing criticism, being called out of their name. And I've definitely been called out my name a couple times on some of these platforms. So I don't know if they're that beneficial. Okay, Chavis, I'm gonna go to your comment, and this might this might be a rabbit hole, but I do want to talk about Cynthia G. And I feel like it would be unfair for me to talk about Cynthia G, but make references to Kevin Samuels, because I know that a lot of men have issues with her. A lot of people reference the clip where she said something along the lines about black baby should have been aborted, or if you get pregnant by a black man, you should abort the child, something of that sort. Um, let me know what you guys think about Cynthia G, and then I'll tell you my thoughts about her too. But Offset took a video of her. Shea Butter said it's like Cardi saying that she doesn't cook and clean, but Offset took a video of her cleaning and cooking. Yes, you're feeding people what they want to hear, and you're not really about that life. That's something that I can't respect. Hey, Patricia, welcome to the live stream. Nah, but that's facts, Jay. And let's talk. I mean, this is a sidebar, but that's a really, really good example, because you think of all these artists who talk about using men for their money, not having no feelings, being emotionless. And I listen to some of these people. So we got the Meg Thee Stallions, we got the Cardi B's, we got the JT from City Girls, you got Young Miami messing with Diddy out here looking crazy. These women really don't be about the life that they are spreading to people. And this is what I feel about these red pill and woman sphere channels. Cynthia G has a black child, but she said all of that. Okay. I don't want to get into her personal business, but I guess what I want to know from you guys is, how do you guys feel about the language that these channels are using? So since we're talking about Cynthia G, I'll talk about what I've seen in her comment section, right? And this isn't really 100% in relation to her, but it's just what I've seen from her viewers. A lot of it is very aggressive language. These men, those men, these dusties. And I really just don't resonate with people who talk from that lens, because it's very biased. And it seems like you have a prejudice against a group of people if you're using that type of language. But when we think about some of the language that these other platforms use, so we're going to step outside of Cynthia G, think about the things that you hear, right? We're calling men dusties, like I said, 304s, hyenas, like using all of these negative terms against one another. And it's like, who is that benefiting to talk like that? I'm not throwing shots at anybody. I'm just saying I don't resonate with that type of language. It's not what I want to have on my channel. Because if we're going back and forth referencing like people as hyenas, for example. So if I go on a channel and I know that I can't speak my mind or disagree with the creator without being called a hyena, I'm not going to want to be a part of that platform, because it's not welcoming to me. So how is it that these channels are unifying people if either men or women don't feel comfortable talking in that space because they feel like they're going to be attacked in the comments? That is my thought on red pill. Let me go to these channels here. These comments here. Kendrick said, I'm going to marry Tynisha once I get a good job. I think I meet her qualifications. Kendrick, what do you do right now? Are you a hood booger? What is a good job? Tell me a little bit, but I'm a ring size 7. Ring size 7. Thank you. Much love to you. Manosphere and divestors are the same people, just different genders. Okay. Is there an issue with divesting? Is there an issue with divesting? I know that this is something that comes up a lot, but I really want to know what you guys think. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. No, booger is crazy. It just gives a different perspective. Okay. The environment. Mm. Red pillars, any channel. Okay. Red pill is merely being aware. Any channel that goes totally against women is black pill. So I guess the question is, if a red pill channel is solely focused on talking about what women do wrong, but they don't give the alternate side of this perspective or the spectrum and say what women do wrong, are they, or that what men do wrong? Sorry, let me rephrase that. If a red pill channel points out what women do wrong all the time, but they never speak on the things that men do wrong. So again, a very biased, one-dimensional perspective. Would that be considered a black pill channel? I just want to make sure I fully understand. Really? Black pill is basically telling men that if you're not 6 feet tall or as a man, just give up. Really? That's interesting. I mean, I'm gonna throw something out there. I think that the way you guys feel about men being like 6 feet tall is the way that some women feel about being judged for their age. And I made a short about this, and I did get a lot of conflicting perspectives on this, a lot of different feedback. But is it wrong for women to want men who are 6 feet and up? If that has nothing to do with how they treat you in a relationship, is that a problem if we judge women who are over 25, for example, and still single? Because I kind of see those things as the same, but I'm interested to know what you guys think. Some women are saying that men who are under 6'2" are short now. Shay, but you know what make me so mad? It's always the women who are literally like 5'2". Why are you 5'2" demanding that you have somebody who is 6'2"? I'm 5'8". You taking all the tall men. Like, I feel like that's a better ratio for me. I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're past 30, you're a senior citizen. That's crazy. Okay. Let's talk about this because this whole ageism thing is something that comes up a lot, right? If you're 30, you're a senior citizen. If you don't have a relationship at that point, you basically wasted your 20s. How do you guys feel about that? Once a woman is past 30, do you feel like she's damaged goods? What did Kevin Samuels used to say? I think his age was 35, right? So if a woman's past 35 and she's still single, no kids, no marriage, then she's basically a waste of space in a sense. But how do you guys feel about women who are 30 and up, who are in that same predicament? Some of y'all just making up stuff. Rage. That you're dating prospects. Just give up. Okay. Hi, free market. Preference is what it is. Shay Butter, your comments are sending me. If you're past 40, you're an ancestor. And if you're over 60, you're a ghost. Okay. Chavis. I met my wife when I was 35 and she was 36. We're just fine. You know, I think that I might have, and you guys can tell me if I have an unrealistic expectation on the whole age thing. But I know a lot of people are saying that women aren't valued as much when they're older because of fertility and things like that. But I come from a family where a lot of women have kids just later in life. So my mom had me when she was 40. And my dad was 26 at the time when I was born. So I see these examples and I'm like, okay, I don't know if that's just like an outlier, if that's something that you shouldn't see as reality, or are these messages that people are pushing online, is that not the reality? Because I'm not going to lie. And I talk to my friends about this all the time. I have felt a lot of anxiety about getting closer to 30. Mostly because of the things that I hear people say. Like, I just feel like they feel like 30 is the end of the road. You failed in life. Your eggs are non-existent at this point. You can't have kids. And it makes a lot of women feel anxious just about getting older. I don't know. I don't like that. You're still living and learning life when you're 30. Okay, in your 30s. I do want to talk about this though, because I talked about this in one of my videos. I got to adjust my seat now. I'm getting comfortable. Do you guys feel like women, how can I phrase this? Do you guys feel like women underestimate their biological clocks? And when I say that, I mean, do you feel like women, they tend to feel like they have more time than they really do? Tell me what you guys think about that. Oh, your mom liked them young. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay. I think a part of me would never date somebody who was young just because I'm like, I'm not going to be like that. I don't want to be a cougar. But then it was so interesting. In one of my classes in school, one of my professors pointed out that it's interesting how we have a term for women who like younger men who are of age, but there's not really a term for men like that. So that just kind of shows how there's a stigma there that's kind of one-sided. Baseball king. Hold on, let's talk about it. 34 and up. That's a very specific age, but 34 and up women tend to be stuck in their ways. They can often be uncooperative, very combative. They call it protecting their peace, but they don't want to change, even for a man to lead them. You said a word. How do you guys feel about that? Are women over 34/35 more combative? Just too hard to deal with? Is that the reason why they're seen negatively? Okay, a similar comment from Ivan. I think women who are older tend to be stuck in their ways and not willing to compromise. So men in general prefer younger. I want to talk about this because in one of my videos, I did a collab with Tara. Tara's been on the channel a few times. Her perspective is that men prefer younger women because they're easier to mold / manipulate. Women, what do you guys think about that? And men, I guess you two, you can chime in. I feel like women would probably have a different perspective, but do you feel that men prefer younger women so they can groom them / manipulate them, mold them into who they want them to be? And I think a good example of this, people have said this about them too, is Beyonce and Jay-Z. She was very young. I think she was like 16 when he met her. And then they say they started messing with each other when she was of age. But what do you guys think about that? Nick Cannon tried to make a term for them called kangaroos. Oh, Lord, don't get me started on Nick Cannon, child. Had some friends. Cougar for women, sugar daddy for men. No, those are two different things. So a cougar and a sugar daddy. So a sugar daddy is just an older man who tricks on women. We're just talking about women who literally like to date younger men. Because there's like sugar mamas too. That's a term as well. Just men in general who prefer to date younger women. What is the term for that? The term is men. That's what I think. It's not really stigmatized as much as it is for women. Oh my gosh. These comments. How young? Like 18. I wouldn't say manipulate. I would say it's easier for them to get on their program. Okay. What is the program? What's the program that women who are over 30 or over 35 aren't understanding? I'll kind of say what I think. So I feel like there are women, yes, who absolutely get stuck in their ways. And I think that at that point, when a woman's 35, they're more settled in their careers, they're self-sufficient. And so it's more of a mentality like, how are you benefiting me? Are you bringing peace into my life? If not, I don't want to be a part of it. And that type of thinking, I think, is very off-putting for a lot of people because, men want to feel like they are needed. So I do get that. But what is the program specifically? Are women not listening? Are they not being submissive? What is it that women are not responding to? Say manipulate the AARP program. Oh my God! Shea Butter! What are these comments from you? Goodness gracious. Women over 35 and single are considered leftover women. Do you guys really feel like this? Is this, I guess from this perspective, if this is the general consensus, and Chavis, I know that your perspective might be different. Is there a point for women to really date at that point if they're seen as leftovers? Like, are they ever really going to be taken seriously, or is it more for sexual reasons? Because I've seen some people say, if a woman does date when she's over, we're going to use 35. That's been the number we're referencing a lot. Men are not going to take her seriously. So if they do mess with her, it's just for sexual reasons. Do you think that that's really true? I don't know how I feel about that. Ooh, Kendrick. You got to be careful with young men. With young women, they got that destroy your life energy. Here's the thing. This is the difficulty with this whole conversation. These young girls nowadays have very little guidance. And it's something that I see all the time. It's something that I feel like in my generation, so millennials, moving forward, it just got progressively worse, right? So millennials, we're probably the generation where we started to really feel that shift where it's like, okay, we're shifting from more traditional values to modern. So now if you're looking at younger women, the ones who are 18 to early 20s, these essentially are the women who are eventually going to be raised by people who are millennials. So are these younger women really that great when it comes to being moldable, people who are willing to compromise with you? Do you feel like you're going to see that, or are you going to have similar issues? Because they're going to have the youth, right? We know that men love the appearance, the aesthetic of things. But are they really going to be that great in comparison to a woman, internal qualities that is, who might be over 35? I'm over 40 is absolutely not true. The young girls are learning from the older women. Is that good or bad? I guess is the question. If young girls are learning from older women, think about 2022, think of the age range who is considered older. Is that a good thing? Is that beneficial for them? Shea Butter, you on fire tonight. I feel like I keep pinning all your comments, but that's very interesting, huh? Okay. I also think marriage. Okay. That's an interesting perspective. So Oscar says, I think marriage percentages are not telling the whole story. A lot of people are in long-term relationships, sometimes with kids, but not married. So statistically, they can look alone. Do you think that it's good to be in a long-term relationship with kids if you're not married? I'm asking that from a very neutral point of view. I'm not giving my opinion yet, but do you think that's a part of the problem? Is a part of the issue with family dynamics nowadays that we are married or having children without being married first? Tell me what you think. Doesn't matter what you feel. That's the gift and the curse. I'm going to switch over to this comment. Whoville says, it doesn't matter what you feel. Oh, shoot my edges. Okay, tell us how you really feel, Whoville. The wall is undefeated. Women bud earlier than men. That's the gift and the curse. Okay, so let's talk about the wall. And we talked about this on the channel too. Let's get all on the same page with understanding this. When does the danger zone start and when does the wall start? When does the danger zone start and when does the wall start? Ooh, SP, you gotta go back to your comment. When does the danger zone start and when does the wall start? Shea Butter says, God damn, the wall starts at 30. I didn't know that. I thought the wall was a little bit later than that, but goodness gracious, thank you for teaching me something new today. Do you guys agree with that? That the wall starts once a woman hits 30? Yeah, Stefan, that was more along the lines of what I thought. 27 to 35 is the danger zone. Yes, that was my understanding as well. But if I'm missing something, shoot, let me know. And I want to know this because the wall, is it based on a woman's physical appearance or is it based on her ability to have children? Because one of the shorts in particular that I think about, we talked about Ashanti. And I think everybody can agree that Ashanti is a beautiful woman, right? Would she be considered a woman who hit the wall because of her age? I believe she's 41 or 42. Or did she not hit the wall yet because she is aesthetically pleasing? Please help me understand that. These comments. It's all about her reproductive qualities. So what if a woman is 25 but she can't have kids? Has she hit the wall because she can't reproduce? Mm-hmm. Baseball King said, I tried to date a woman who was mid-30s before. She had a mile-long list of standards with me, but she got a chance to hang out at Chris Brown's house once and broke all those standards. Now, I know I love me some Chris Brown. Now, I don't know if I would deny an invite. I'm not going to say I'm going to smash the man, but I might hang out with him. He seemed like he could be a fun time, someone to turn up with. But in all seriousness, this is something that men actually have a lot of complaints about. So they say that when women are in their prime, they don't really have a lot of standards, right? They're just kind of moving recklessly, doing whatever they want, not really intentional about who they're dealing with. Once women get to the point of being older, their looks start to fade, they might start gaining weight. That's when women start to have all of these long standards. Do you think that women are moving backwards in that regard? Are women moving backwards in that regard, having standards as they get older versus having higher standards when they're younger and laxing a little bit as they get older? Oh, okay, Baseball King, I hear you. At Chris Brown's house in the pool with a thong on. Oh, Lord, she done got smashed. Y'all already know. Y'all already know how this man do. I'm sure y'all hear his music. Oh, my goodness. Her and Maya, so Ashanti and Maya have wasted youth and looks, yet still could have children if they wanted to. What does it mean to waste your youth and your looks? I really am interested to know what that means. So if a woman did not marry younger, does that mean that she wasted her youth? If she didn't marry a specific type of man, does that mean that she wasted her youth? Tell us a little bit more about that. I'll let you guys know that I think that a lot of women do waste their youth. I'm not going to cap. I feel like women underestimate the impact of our actions when we're younger. And when I say the impact of our actions, sleeping around with multiple different men, displaying yourself a certain kind of way on social media, just being very, very out there, because then what happens is like those men, they might not say anything to you, but they're watching the whole time. They're watching. And so when you get to the point where you finally want to turn things around, you now have to convince men that you're someone who is worth being taken seriously because they observed and witnessed you for all those years. That's my perspective. But while we're talking about social media, there was a comment that I saw. Let me go back and find it. Where are we? I should have started. Okay. So SP said that young girls are learning from social media and not older women. I do feel like young girls are learning from social media, but the problem is that older women are learning from social media as well. That's what I see. If you think about a lot of these people, so the people I love in hip hop, they're older, right? So if we think of that type of woman, they're considered technically older. not old, but older, but they're still behaving in the same way that younger women are behaving. So I think the issue for me is that I don't think a lot of younger girls are seeing the representation of women to learn from. But you guys let me know what you think. That's the problem that I see. Bernice Burgos is another example. She's a beautiful woman, but she's a grandmother at 40 plus. So how do you guys feel about women like that? So is she seen as being less valuable because of the way that she presents herself on social media? Or is she seen as being less valuable because she's 40 plus years old and she's a grandma and she just doesn't have a partner? Because these are the women that we're seeing. So I want to know what you guys think. How do you interpret them? Hold on. Hey, Sister George, how are you? A lot of these older women be trying to be a booty model, but her packaging is moldy now. She's less valuable because she's on social media and she's old as F. Okay. Let me see. I feel like there was wealthier people marry slightly older. So I know we talk a lot about Black women don't get married as much, but the statistic, what people leave out of that statistic is that women do get married, they just do it later in life. Is that a problem? Is it a bad thing to get married once you've established your career and established yourself financially? What is wrong with that? Is it only a problem because you guys are seeing the fertility aspect, or is there something different that we're missing? If a person is still getting married regardless of their age, is that a problem? Yeah, these comments are OD, Nigel. Okay. This is kind of spilling into a different live that I wanted to do, but whatever, we about to go there today. Hey, Osha, thank you for joining. Young females are too focused on being a bad bitch instead of being a woman that is wife material. Young females are too focused on being a bad bitch versus being a woman who is wife material. What makes a woman wife material? We'll start there, and then I'm gonna tell you guys something that's been bugging me about one of the videos that I made that's been getting a lot of feedback from people. Okay, SP, that's fair. What makes a woman a wife versus being a bad bitch? What is wife material? Men don't wife the fun girls. After college, it's time to do the self-work. Okay. So one of my videos that I made, I think I would consider it is on the verge of going viral, probably like almost at 500,000 views. And one of the things that I said in that video is that I think it's very problematic that women are this whole BBL culture thing, right? You feel like you have to adjust your body, you have to contour your face, you have to have this luxury aesthetic. And a lot of women feel like they need to do that in order to be attractive to a man. Now, this is just what I hear from a lot of men. You guys can tell me if you agree or not. A lot of men are really looking at that as being at those things as being traits of what a wife is, right? It's good to look at, but they're not going to look at you and say, you have a BBL, you have eyelash extensions, you have all these expensive bags. You are the person that needs to be my wife and have my kids, because that's just everything I look at. And so my issue or my concern is that women focus too much on the aesthetic side of things versus their internal qualities. So kind of like what you mentioned, where you said after college, it's time to do the self-work. I don't think a lot of women are doing the self-work. A lot of women are more so working on their outer appearance versus doing shadow work to be better in any relationship, just a better person in general. What do you guys think about that? Because I got a lot of pushback to further expand on that. The women who commented on my video said that men would wife the fun girls. And in this case, the fun girls are the ones who are they focus on money. They want men to provide a certain lifestyle. They might have gotten surgery done, things like that. men really do want those women, but they can't afford them. And once men do get the money to afford these women, then they will actually want to marry them. What do you guys think about that? Do you agree or disagree? Do you feel like men are shunning women who are the social media influencers, people who get a lot of traction on social media because they can't afford them or they're like out of their league? And that's why they're being shunned, or is it really that that's not seen as being attractive? Those men are simps. Give me a Chloe Bailey. Give me a Nyesha Curry. We'll talk about that. Hold on. Nigel said, no, go back. That wasn't your comment. Dang, these things are moving fast. Okay. So Nigel says that there's no such thing as wifey material. It's based on the guy who is looking. How do you guys feel about that? Of course, things will be subjective based on the person, right? But do you think in general there are certain characteristics that men are looking for that makes a woman someone that he would settle down with? Beauty is subjective. Men wife the girl he thinks is the least problematic. Okay. Men are always saying they want peace, so I do get that. Women are more into beauty than men. Okay. Baseball King says, if we go biblical, a virtuous woman adds years to your life. Wicked women stress you out. A wifey woman wants to be a wife. She wants to serve her marriage with a man and her family. Bad bitches are wicked. So if we're saying that a man wants somebody who is not going to stress him out, is the least problematic, are those not qualities that would be considered wifey material? I'm just trying to think, because it's like that's still a quality that you guys are looking for. So if we can all agree that men want that, then that wouldn't that be a characteristic? So wifey material does exist, but is it not focused on the aesthetic part? You guys are saying, is it just more of like the internal qualities and nothing with aesthetics? What is a wifey? What is a wifey? That's a good question. What is a wifey? I mean, I think that's what we're trying to figure out. What makes a woman wifey material? And see, these are the things that I think frustrate women, because if a woman's trying to understand men and we're asking you, okay, help me understand what it is that you feel that you're looking for. Because I feel like if you ask a woman what she's looking for in a man, I think women usually can answer, right? I mean, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but she'll tell you. But it's like you guys have this standard that you say women aren't reaching, but when we ask you what that standard is, the standard doesn't exist. I'm trying to understand. Help me figure it out. Wifey is a made up label. Okay. So if we're saying that wifey is a made up label, do you guys feel like marriage is important? Does marriage matter? Because I mean, at one point, I feel like marriage was an aspiration for people. There was value in that. So is marriage overrated if wife or wifey is just a label that's made up? Is there a point in getting married if it's not seen as holding any additional weight? I think just partnership vibes. Thank you, TBF Fireball. I appreciate you. Much love to you. Okay, wait. Wifey material is the woman that gives wife vibes and does for a man what a wife should do. What is that? Is what we're asking. What are wife vibes? What does a wife do for a man? What are wifely duties? What is it? You got to be able, if you're looking for something, you got to be able to vocalize what you're looking for. So please tell me. Oh, Nigel, they say what you're saying is BS. Hold on now. It depends, but partnership is what we're looking for. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, Lord. Hold on, Jay. Woo, I feel like we about to go down a rabbit hole. J.A. Bound 45 says marriage does not benefit the man in today's world. Total sidebar, I'm going to do a video talking about this, but can we talk about that? Because this comes up a lot, that men do not benefit from marriage. We got men and women in the chat. How do y'all feel about that? Who benefits from marriage? What are the benefits of marriage? And is it one-sided? I really want to know what you guys have to say about this. Either a wife or you're not. Wifey is called one, but it's more internal when she carries herself. Women, okay. Women benefit from marriage more. Okay, I think that's a common consensus. Why do you guys feel like that? What are the benefits of marriage that you feel are so one-sided? What is it? Is it financial? I feel like that's the big one. Is there anything that you could list that a woman benefits from marriage aside from the financial aspect? Okay. So Greg says women get the last name, half unless a prenup, and the kids most times. Okay. How do you guys feel about that? Assuming that there is a prenup that is written and a custody agreement that is written, what is she getting from the marriage? We're talking about while you're in the marriage. We're not thinking about what happens if you guys break up. In the marriage, how does the women benefit? You say women get the last name. Okay. Some women don't like to take the men's last name, though, and men have a problem with that. So it's like, what if you want women to take your last name, can you list that as something that's a benefit just for them? Let me know. Women don't get half, they get 75%. Men get alimony too. Yes, speak on it, because I think Mary J. Blige went through that. Her husband, I don't know who divorced who, but this woman has to pay this man money every single month. So yes, men can definitely get alimony as well. This is very, very true. Okay. Era Black says the family benefits. It's bigger than you and me. It's about all of us and our security in life in a world that isn't necessarily for or about you. I agree with you. I think that this is my biggest gripe when I hear people argue about who benefits the most out of a marriage. Because, in my opinion, a marriage is a union. And if we're looking at it from a we perspective, it's a team. It shouldn't be me, mine. I'm getting this and you're not giving this. Like, you guys should be seeing everything as a functional unit. So my perspective is that marriage is not operating, or the view of marriage, I should say, right now is not really aligned with what it's supposed to be. What do you guys think about that? Yes, Mary J. Blige, yes. And she didn't even have any kids and he still collected alimony. Like, now she might be a one-off situation, but that was some BS. So yes, I agree. Same with Wendy Williams' husband. Man, these folks gonna learn to get some dang on prenups. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Kendrick 87. Let's talk about this. Okay, because this is kind of tying into the video I was telling you guys about. Kendrick says, ladies, I ain't gonna hold you no matter how fine you look, no matter how much you make or the degrees that you carry. If you could cook, these, I'm not gonna say the N-word, these ninjas are gonna cheat. It's a mental disease with them. They're wild out here. So in the video that I told you guys about, where I was talking about like the BBO culture, a lot of women said again that men are going to cheat with those women once they reach a certain status. So the desire for them is still there, right? And it gave this consensus that men are just going to cheat regardless. So, and I kind of talked about this in a recent video too, is monogamy something that's unrealistic for most men? And if that's the case, should women be aspiring? Because that was the viewpoint of women who commented on the video. There's no point in aspiring to be a wife if your husband is still going to cheat, the side chick is still going to reap the benefits of messing with him. What's the point of me holding that title if it doesn't hold any weight? What do you guys think about that? Do men always cheat? Are they expected to cheat no matter how good the woman is? And if that's the case, what is the benefit of a woman being a wife in that situation? Most men want their own woman to themselves. Yes, but I think the problem we're discussing is that that can be one-sided, so they don't want the woman to dip out, but they want to be able to dip out. Shea butter, yes, I actually do agree with that. The woman gets the ring, the wedding, the house that men didn't want, the kids, the protection, the I gotta pin this. Wait a second. The women get a ring, the wedding, the house that the man didn't want, the protection, the money. Men get socks and ties for his birthday. So I guess the question is, if you guys are feeling slighted by marriage, why are y'all marrying women, for one? Like, if you complain about the fact that you don't benefit from marriage, why are you doing that? But two, if you are going to decide to get married, what are some things that you would want women to do so that you do feel more appreciated and that you don't feel like you're getting the short end of the stick? I don't cheat. Mm-hmm. Whole lives. What? Question again is, if men feel like they don't benefit from marriage, why do men still get married? I want to understand that, because nobody's forcing you to do that. So why do you feel like you have to put the work in to marry somebody if that's not really what you want? Bueller. Crickets. Why do men get married if you feel like it doesn't benefit you? Men tend to be very logical, more so than women. So logically, it doesn't make sense for me to sign my life away, in a sense, for something that I'm not getting anything out of. So what are you guys getting out of a marriage situation that makes you still want to do that? Most women pressure after a year or so. Okay. Conflicting message, because I think we often hear that women, especially black women, I'm gonna say, don't really push for marriage too much, and that's why we're unwed, according to the interweb. So that's a very, very interesting statement. Most black men aren't marrying a damn thing. This actually comes up a lot, and they can give you some great answers to all your questions. Well, I'm just saying. Dating coaches. You gonna hook me up with some data coaches? I got all the questions because I'm trying to understand. I still haven't seen a logical answer as to why men get married. Why are you guys getting married if you don't benefit from marriage? That doesn't make sense. Why do that? To appease, like, you want the woman by your side? And that's why do you want that woman by your side? What is she providing to you that makes you want to marry her so that you can have her? Like, that would be a benefit of marriage. Right? Or am I bugging? Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys can help walk me through this. Okay, let me go back and look at some of these other comments. We do benefit from marriage. Just that dude. Help us out. How do men benefit from marriage? With me. Selling dreams out here, Patricia. Be careful for these men now. Men will say whatever they want, but it's the actions that mean everything. You're bugging. We don't look at it like that. It's just a complaint. It's easier to complain than to level up. Okay. Men get married because it's a consistent, intimate partner. Because dating multiple women is a lot of work. Yes. So if you are benefiting from having an intimate partner, and that's just an overarching theme, there are a lot of benefits that come from having an intimate partner. if you're benefiting in that way, why do you guys push the narrative that you aren't benefiting from marriage? You are. You have a companion. Studies actually show that men live longer when they have a spouse because men, a lot of times, aren't going to the doctors as much as they should. Women are helping you, making sure you do those things to take care of yourself. So there are benefits. But why do you guys feel like there's not benefits? If there is, I don't know. Everybody says, marriage is a lifetime partner. I feel that. I want to have grandparent type love as well. Okay, so TBF Furball. I saw a video of a 40-year-old woman who wanted a husband so bad because she had surgery. She had a surgery and only her mom was there. Y'all women hitting the wall hard, man. Better stop talking to men. Interestingly enough, I recently saw a post where a nurse commented, a couple nurses, a lot of nurses actually, and they were saying that there were a lot of men who are in the same predicament, that they didn't get married, they're on their deathbed, they have no one to take care of them. So I don't know if this is a thing that's just related to women. I think it is men as well. But I just think that we're shunned for it a little bit more. But I do agree. Here's the thing though. Do you think that it's good to only feel that you should have a partner because you're thinking about what someone is able to do for you when you're on your deathbed? Like, I don't know if that's the best incentive to focus on for having a partner. What about all the years before that? Is that the main reason why you should be looking for someone, to have someone to help you when you get old? I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. Kendrick. We get married for validation. The same pressure y'all feel to get married. We just want companionship and a planner, a sex partner to hold down the fort. We want legacy. Okay. Men getting married for validation. Can we talk about that? Because I don't know if that's really talked about a lot. I know that at one point, men, in order to be seen or taken seriously in corporate positions, they did need to have a wife, because if they were just a single bachelor out here, it was seen as being like more reckless, not disciplined, and so they weren't trusted as much. But I don't think that we talk about men needing marriage for validation for themselves. So the same way that women feel this pressure to get married and have kids at a certain age, men, do y'all feel that? It's not a biological clock, but I guess like the male equivalent to a biological clock. Is that the thing? Is that a thing? Oh my gosh. A lot of nurses are saying that there are a lot of women. Are hoping. Modern women aren't helping men live longer. We live in a different era. Men about power take care of themselves. I have very mixed feelings about individuals who say that they don't need men or need women. I think that is a bit problematic, assuming you're a heterosexual person, right? I think it's just in our human nature to need companionship for multiple different reasons. And I think that we're minimizing that. Oh my God. You know what? This made me think of this thing. Let me see how you guys feel about that. Did you guys see that post where the man was saying that instead of men trying to get married, they should get married to men, and it would be a non-sexual relationship, and it would just be them splitting the bills. They would help each other with career goals and things like that. How do y'all feel about that? Because I'm like, I just know this world going to hell. If we get into a point where men feel like they don't need to marry women and they can get that type of support from men versus other women. What do y'all think? That's very twisted to me. Hell no. Men don't have the same options women do. Okay. I think the male biological clock is real. That's a gay relationship. Is it though? If y'all don't have sex, and it's basically like a roommate agreement. That's what it sounded like to me. It's like, but you're asking for a roommate. But I think it's just really sad that again, we've minimized the importance of having that romantic connection with someone, where it all boils down to, okay, you're helping me pay the bills. and you're helping me with reaching my goals. Like there's a whole nother level. Of course, that's important with having a partner, but I think we're just minimizing the importance of a woman. Ooh, that's a way to shame men into submission. It's another he must be gay tactic. Mm-hmm. Always ways I kind of feel the pressure to marry. I feel like this is another rabbit hole. Because of how I was raised, I have always kind of felt pressured to marry a Black woman. I don't date out, but I've had chances and turned them down. That to me is the similar pressure I feel. Is that, are you baseball king? Are you referencing the pressure that you feel to get married? So you're comparing the pressure to get married to the pressure of marrying a Black woman. Is that right? Just want to make sure before I respond. These women, I saw that. He said he built on the house. Why would you marry for the long haul women? Okay, hold on, rewind. This I want to talk about. When men marry, we're usually in it for the long haul, but women not so much. Okay. So there is a statistic that has been floating around the internet, right? And you guys have all probably heard that 80% of divorces are initiated by women, right? Recycled on every red pill platform. Why do y'all think that is? Why do you think that women are the ones who are ending marriages more so than men? I have my hypothesis, but I want to know what you guys think. Modern men get married for consistent sex. If it was just about, we're going to go back to this, but if marriage was just about consistent sex, why don't men just pay for sex? Like if you could pay for sex and not have the headache of what you guys are saying modern women are, why don't you just do that? Why don't you just do that? Okay, so the answers are coming in as to why women are the ones who usually end marriages. Because we get caught. Yep. Now, if I'm not mistaken, though, I want to say, and this could be wrong, y'all correct me if it is. Weren't they saying like there was a high percentage of women who still leave marriages for reasons not related to cheating or abuse? I feel like that was a thing, but I'm not sure. But I think the 80% statistic is all around everything. Because women want non-monogamy and don't realize it. How do you guys feel about that? Women want non-monogamy and don't realize it. If that's the case, why not just have an open marriage? Why leave the person? Or do you think that the man is not open to non-monogamy and that's why they feel the need to leave? Because I also said before that most men probably do want non-monogamy deep down. So why do you feel like women would have to leave for that? Women don't face enough consequences like Middle Eastern women do for divorcing. Yeah, that's a real crazy example. The Middle East got some things going on out there. So I can imagine, yeah, I mean, a lot of it is tied to the fact that women are more liberated, right? We don't need to stay in marriages as long as our grandparents because we have bank accounts. We are able to have careers. We have jobs. And so that dependence isn't necessarily there. So I think that plays a big role as well. Paying for sex is not safe, it's too risky. So basically you're saying that men just get married to have consistent safe sex. Wow. How does that make you feel as a woman where it's like you're ideally told that you should aspire for marriage and men are saying the only reason why we're marrying you is for sex? Well, I guess in that case, if y'all feel like that, then you can't complain that women are using y'all for y'all money. You get sex, women get money. I feel like that's a fair exchange, but okay. Woo, TBF for about, we're going to come back to that. Let me start this comment. Because the price of pee went up to $60 now. Went up to $60? The price of pee went up to $60. What was it at before? $10? Y'all messing with $10 hoes, Lord Jesus, have mercy. Let's talk about this. Fiend Sanctuary says because they got into the marriage for the wrong reasons and based off others' opinions instead of who they really wanted to be with. They got into the marriage for the wrong reasons based off of others' opinions instead of who they wanted to be with. I feel like I don't really hear this perspective much. So tell me a little bit more about that. Because I actually feel like the problem is that at least for a lot of women, people are saying the opposite. Like it's more so just settle down with someone. That literally is kind of like the narrative that's being pushed. Like you're too picky, you're passing up too many people. Like you could just find a man who seems like he can provide for you, would be a good father, and all those other external factors that don't matter much in a relationship. We focus too much on that. So to hear that we get into marriage for the wrong reasons, that's interesting. What are those reasons? Press them more. They divorce because they easily can. Okay. So this is kind of where my thought process is going. So when people mention that statistic about 80% of women initiating divorce, it's kind of insinuating that women don't care as much as men do. Like the man wanted to stay and you chose to leave him, right? This is what I would consider a confounding variable. Put on my little psychology hat here, nerd moment. The thing about statistics that kind of rub me the wrong way is that people listen to them and they don't really understand how to interpret them. So when you are looking at any sort of research that was done, you always have to look at what other variables could have led to these results, how they collected this information, so on and so forth, right? So we've already said earlier in the conversation that men usually get the short end of the stick if they divorce, right? Women take the money, women take the kids, so on and so forth. I personally feel like that's a large part of the reason why men are not the ones who are initiating divorce. I would bet any amount of money, okay, if there were zero penalties for a man to leave a woman, you came in with everything that you had, you left with everything that you came in with, men would be leaving marriages a lot more. But because they have more to lose, that is the reasoning as to why they aren't. And so when you just look at it from those percentages, like, oh, like 80% of women, they're the ones who are leaving, maybe. But who's to say that that man didn't check out emotionally years ago? And we know that women like emotional connection. So he might have stayed, but there might not be any romance there. He might sleep on the couch and she sleeps in the bedroom and she got tired of it. Like there could be so many different things. If he checked out and he didn't want to fight for the marriage anymore, does that really count as staying? And is that something that we should be praising? Is she wrong for leaving in that case? I don't know. I just think it's a bigger picture than what those statistics are putting out there. Thank you, Patricia. You feel me? Well. Let me see. It's a popular trend now that women are having divorce parties. You can't make this up. Women don't have to stress about divorce. Men do. That's why I say it's cheaper to keep her. Yes, I agree. Why do you think that women are having divorce parties, though? I feel like that's a very vague question, but I'm getting somewhere with that. Why do you feel like women have divorce parties? Why are women celebrating divorce? I hope that's where women have more money than men nowadays. So in response to the comments that I made about why women are the ones who leave, Nigel said, I don't know if that's fair. Women have more money than men these days. Most relationships, women are the breadwinner. I'm interested. Does anyone know these statistics? The women who are breadwinners, how often do they get married? Because I think that will paint a bigger picture. Of these women who are getting married, how many of them are the breadwinners in their relationship? Or do they not get married as much? What do you guys think? Because women want divorce for attention. Women see divorce as a business. Girl, like they're good because they usually have one on the side. Love to the chat. Thank you, Walt. Much love to you too. So you're saying that women are more likely to divorce because of the benefits. Not necessarily because of the benefits, but I think that they have less penalty per se for divorcing, right? So if I'm in a situation where, I mean, let's talk about kids, right? So kids is a common thing that people fight over: money, houses, whatever. I know that if I divorce as a woman, there's a high chance that I'm probably going to be able to get primary custody of the children unless I'm a parent who has like drug issues or things like that. And I also know that if we didn't have a prenup, and assuming my husband is the breadwinner of the relationship, I'm going to be able to walk away with everything, or half at least, of what he earned. I don't think that necessarily happens in most marriages for men. They have to think about the fact that they might lose visitation to the kids like they have before, and they might lose a lot of their possessions. So you got to think twice about leaving. It's kind of like when you have a job that you hate, right? And they're like, well, you got to be strategic about your move. If you're going to go to another job, you don't just up and drop everything without thinking of how it's going to impact you. I kind of feel like that's what men do. But again, that's just my opinion. It's okay for y'all to disagree. How do you feel? Ooh, hold on. This is the right one. How do you feel about men having a prenup? Bricks the producer. How do you feel about the man having a prenup? I don't know how I feel about that. I can understand the logic behind it, right? Ooh, I gotta think about this, because I think that the issue that a lot of women have, they'll say it's like, you don't trust me or things like that. But I think a lot of women realize that one of the main perks of being married to someone, I shouldn't say that because the man is technically paying the bills probably while you're together. But I think a lot of women don't want to go to it thinking that, let's say the guy is a business owner, right? And she's supporting him when he's stressed out in his business venture. She is helping him keep things organized. And then you tell me that we have a prenup and we split and I get none of that. I think that's the biggest thing that women have a problem with, because a lot of times we offer the emotional support. So why are we not compensated for that support? Again, that's just what women think. I'm giving you guys a general perspective. I do think that if both people are coming in with money, like Kim and Kanye, they had a prenup, I think that makes sense, but you don't want it to be a situation where, let's say the guy is saying, I don't want you to work, right? I want you to stay home, take care of the kids, hold down the household. In that situation, there's no way in hell I'm doing a prenup, because I am holding back my career ventures and progressing for myself because I'm helping you out. So I don't know. I think it varies. But what do you guys think? How do y'all feel about a man having a prenup? Do you think it's a sign that he doesn't trust you, or is that a logical thing to do? If you feel like you need a prenup, you should get one. Okay. We talking about black men and black women. We know those stats are made for. Let's really do the research. Nigel, are you saying that black men are not the breadwinners in their relationships if they're married? Is that what you're saying? Because I think the bigger question again is like, if we're looking at the women who are making more than men, are those the women who are marrying men who make less than them? Because I feel like what I found is that women who are more educated and make more money, they have a harder time dating just because they're looking for men who are on that same caliber. And so I don't know if they're necessarily marrying men who make a lot of less that frequently. I'm sure it happens, but I don't know if it still happens that much. Women are material. I don't trust. It's funny when hold on, wait a second. Men want you for, but want it. Sorry, we're still talking about black men. We're really talking about all men, but I feel like most of the people in this chat are melanated. So by default, we're probably talking about black men. 100% because women marry for potential. Women marry for potential. Do they though? Like, if we're talking about our community, okay, the melanated community, do you feel like most women are marrying men for potential? Not dating, not smashing, not having kids by, and they in a situationship. Are women marrying for potential? Black women are marrying later in their 30s, so they should be established by then. Marry and date up, not down. Yeah, hypergamy is definitely a thing for most women. So I'm not sure if I feel like I agree with that. Do you guys agree that most women marry for potential? I don't know. You know what? This is what I think. I think that the women who are getting married, they probably had people in their life emphasizing the importance of marriage. And I think that with that being pushed by their family, they're going to be a little bit more strategic with navigating marriage. Whereas you have women who were not really taught about being marriage minded. Those are the women who tend to, again, they might date smash, have babies by these men that have potential, right? Falling in love with potential. But I don't know if the women who are raised to be marriage minded would do that. I don't know what y'all think. But Trisha said, I won't be marrying for potential. Say that again. I wish I had a button to like say I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, I think and this kind of ties into why I think that Black women are a little bit more picky, like you guys said, as they get older. A lot of women wasted the better part of their years, better part being like their 20s, their youthful years, dealing with men who they saw potential, and they realized that wasn't getting anywhere. And so that's why their standards are higher. So I don't really know if a woman would be inclined to marry for potential. In the end, women level up faster, 2-3 kids later. Yeah, some people learn the lessons later in life. I do agree with that. Okay, I think there was a comment I wanted to go back to. Oh, wait a second. Preston, I wouldn't date a woman who makes more than me unless it's not first generation wealth for her. I wouldn't date a woman who makes more than me unless it's not first generation wealth for her. Can you explain that? Why? Why wouldn't you date a woman who makes more than you? Women or men of the Black community don't combine money and love. We keep it separate. When we try to combine it, we wouldn't have any relationship. I personally think that you should combine money and love when you are talking about marrying someone. And this might be an unpopular opinion. A marriage, I am literally joining my funds with you. This is a contract. Our debts and stuff are linked together. So, baby, I could love you, but there got to be a little bit more than love for me to want to marry you. Like, I feel like that's a little bit more of a binding contract. So you have to factor in money and love. And maybe it's a problem that we're not factoring in money and love. What do y'all think about that? Women are quick to say. Oh my God, the comments are moving so fast. There's so many good ones. Shea butter. Right. Pookeishas. Can we talk about how a lot of women like to be Pookeishas? What the freak is a Pookeisha? I've heard of the Pookies and the Ray Rays, but you got to enlighten us. What the heck is a Pookeisha? I have never heard of that term before. A Pookeisha. Oh, okay. Enlighten the folks. She has multiple baby daddies. Oh, is that what a Pookeisha is? Ooh. Marriage and a contract. I ain't gotta love you. This is a business. Yeah. So Brick's the producer. Shea butter. Give us a little bit more than that, because some people might not really understand what a Pookie and a Ray Ray is. So tell the folks what a Pookeisha is. Make good money with her. Yeah. So marriage is not about love at all. We're gonna come back to the Pookeisha comment. Bricks the producer says marriage is not about love at all. What do y'all think about that? Better yet, do you guys think if marriage isn't about love, do you think we would be better off if we just had arranged marriages then? Because at least back then, the people were getting vetted. The families were strategic about who they paired their daughters with because it would help their family get status. So if we're saying that marriage is not about love, were we better off with having arranged marriages? He ain't good. She ain't gonna marry. Yeah, arranged. Okay. Glorilla is a Pukisha. Okay. Oh, Lordy Jesus. The Rick Ross stunt. What happened with Rick Ross? I don't think I heard about that. Trina is a Pukisha. So they said Glorilla is a Pukisha. They said anybody who's singing F and F. I actually really like that song in the gym. I'll be getting it into that. F-R-E-E. No, I don't even want to sing it like this. So Glorilla is a Pukisha. Trina is a Pukisha. How? Because, okay, let me think about this. Pookie and Ray Ray. When I think about Pookie and Ray Ray, it's a hood booger. Someone who has like a lot of kids by a lot of different women. They might be like, they don't have really any direction in their life. They might be in the streets, like just someone who's not fit to lead. So I'm wondering how like a Glorilla or a Trina would be a Pukisha. They don't even have kids and they do have careers. So what makes them a Pukisha? Damn you a Pukisha. Nigel, send money to my Cash App right now for insulting me. That's disrespectful. I'm not a Pukisha. I was raised in the hood, y'all. Like, my goodness gracious. I think I keep it classy, but I like to hear trap music sometimes. Give me a break. Goodness gracious. Sukiana is the queen of Pukisha. Sukiana be tripping. I don't know if you guys watch Love and Hip Hop. I've only seen clips. I don't watch that show anymore. But the things that she says in like her music videos or the things that she demonstrates online about like oral sex and videos with very sexual activities, yeah, that's crazy. So it's a Pukisha. Oh, wait a second. Not like Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu is a neo soul Pukisha. You got to explain that, Shea Butter. I'm not understanding. Because a lot of men, my interpretation, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, a lot of men like the Erykah Badus of the world because Erykah Badu comes across as somebody who actually understands men. Like she listens to men. She's like a spiritual type of vibe. Like they like that type of goddess energy. So to hear that she's a Pukisha, what does that even mean? She's arrogant. I mean, well, she did have a perfume that smells like her vagina. I think you got to have a certain type of arrogance for that. I like Erykah though. Erykah got the yams though. Erykah be serving body, okay? Don't flex on Erykah Badu now. Bad Baby is a non-melanated Pukisha. Yo, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. Yeah. Classism is killing us. Oh my gosh. It's because of what she represents. So would you guys say that a Pukisha is a woman who, I don't know, is a little bit more promiscuous, just very out there with her sexuality, doesn't conduct herself in a classy manner? Is that what a Pukisha is? Y'all calling every woman that like the new Munch Turner guys. Right. I'm like, what is a Pukisha? I don't understand. Is it anybody who talks about sex? Because in that case, is Beyonce a Pukisha? Because Beyonce be talking about some stuff now. Or is she not a Pukisha because she's married to Jay-Z? I'm not clear on that. She's just confident in her vaginal scent. One time for the women who are confident in their vaginal scents. Okay, that is a genius idea, though. I'm just saying, when I start selling merch... When I start selling merch, don't be surprised now if I come out with my own perfume. Say, I'm just playing. Let me stop for y'all really come for me. I'm joking. Pukisha is the City Girls. They're number one. But they're, okay. Megan Good, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Sierra. Hold on, wait a second. Megan Good, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Sierra, Lotto, Yandy from Love and Hip Hop, and Mimi too. Yandy is married. Sierra is married. Nicki Minaj is married, even though I know people don't like her husband, which, okay, whatever. Megan Good was married. So is she a Pukisha because she's divorced now? Do y'all feel like that about Tia Mowry too because she's divorcing as well? These are women who I think conducted them. Not all the women that y'all listed, but I like Sierra. What's the beef? You know what? Now we about to go there. What's the beef that y'all got with Sierra? I really want to understand because people come for her so bad because she is with Russell Wilson. And I think that people really just don't like the fact that she dealt with somebody who was a glorified hood booger. She learned her lesson. And now she is with a good man who appreciates her. And I think that just grinds people's gears. And so they say so many different things about Sierra. I love Sierra. Y'all can say what y'all want. I know she be twerking. She's a dancer. Give her some space to do what she does. But why do y'all come from Sierra like that? Like, she's just so. When I think of somebody who is feminine, I think Sierra is a good modern day example of someone who is feminine. She's very soft. You don't really hear her yelling at anybody. She doesn't say ratchet things to people. I don't really hear her curse like that. She cares for her family. She cares for her man. These are all things that you guys said are qualities that make someone wife material. So why is Sierra a Pukisha? And why do people hate her so much? We're not doing the Sierra as a transgender thing. That was such a thing when I was in high school. That woman, Sierra, looks good as hell. Her body, her snapback is always like no tomorrow. Like, she does that. So thank you guys for the super stickers. Thank you, Nigel, who sent the other one. Thank you, Preston. I appreciate you. For anyone who wants to donate, housekeeping note as a reminder, YouTube takes 30% of the coins that you guys send through the super chat. So please use the Cash App that is listed below. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. I'm missing the comments about Sierra. If Sierra been the same way as a teen, she was probably twerking as a baby. Probably. Listen. Hold on. Sierra doesn't want Russell. She wants a future with money, really. She's with Russell for the money and clout. Why y'all gotta assume that, though? Why is it always the assumption that she's with somebody? And what type of clout? Because, I mean, technically she had clout with Future, too. Are you saying she wants to have, like, the good girl, wifey, reformed image type of clout? Because she really would get clout with anybody who she dates who's in the spotlight, just being real. She thought she could turn Future to Russell. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I think that this is kind of the issue that a lot of women, especially Black women, have. Like, you feel like you can date people for their potential. You can turn them around. Future was a big red flag. When we talk about red flags, woo, Future was a major red flag. He had multiple different baby moms. I still don't understand how women open up their legs and get pregnant by this man because he is walking garbage. But anyway, I think that she learned her lesson. Like, it's okay for women to learn their lesson. And I've talked about this before, but I'm going to say it again. I feel like you guys penalize women forever for making bad decisions. And it's like, you guys say that women need to learn. But then when a woman learns and she corrects her behavior, now it's, oh, she doesn't really like that person. She wants them for the wrong reasons. Make up your mind. Like, it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation. Future said he's still smashing Sierra negative. I do not believe that's the case at all. Future does whatever he does at this point to get clout to save his career. People are not checking for Future's music like that anymore, honestly. Just saying. And so he says whatever reckless stuff he has to say to remain relevant. And he's hurting. Future is the prime example of fumbling the bag. Future knows he messed up with Sierra. And then that's why he did that. Was it Wait For You? Was it Wait For You? The video where he reenacted his whole situation with Sierra and he showed how he feels like a clown because he sees her and Russell in the spotlight and he fumbled a good woman. He know he did that. He talked about it in his artistry. So I don't think so. He's not smashing her anymore. He fumbled the bag. It happens sometimes, you know? Sierra is almost a grandmother twerking naked while claiming to be a woman of God. Why y'all be this whole ageism thing? It gotta stop. Like, why are y'all Sierra? Let me look up how old Sierra is right now. Sierra gotta be, what's she, like 40? Sierra's 37. Not y'all telling Sierra she's almost a grandma. 37? What the hell wrong with y'all folks, man? Oh my goodness. They're just mad at the transition she made. I agree with that. And this is what I think. This is just my humble opinion. Don't come for me. I think that men out there have a deep-rooted frustration or disdain for women who made stupid decisions, maybe passed up on good men, did whatever, right? They just don't look at them in a positive light. And so when they see that those women end up winning, I think it makes them feel some kind of way inside, where it's just like everything is negative because you feel like that woman didn't deserve that. Because I feel like that's what it boils down to. You guys are ultimately saying that Sierra does not deserve Russell Wilson. I wonder if people say that about his ex-wife who cheated on him, who's not melanated, but that's a conversation for a different day. Okay. Next comment. Russ is a simp. Oh my God. This live about to be about 3-4 hours. Why? Okay. Let's talk about the word simp. Okay. I think that people use the word simp to describe men who behave in a manner that they don't agree with. And I talked about this in one of my videos, got some slight pushback. But my understanding of a simp is a man who kind of goes above and beyond to get the approval of women who aren't really checking for them like that. You know what I'm saying? So how can a man be a simp for his wife? Oh Lord, I know you guys are probably gonna say that about Will Smith too. But in a situation where his wife respects him, she's not doing anything to make him look crazy, no allegations, overall pretty unproblematic. How the hell is Russell Wilson a simp? I think he's a stand-up guy. He literally takes care of Future's kids. His kids, the ones that aren't even Sierra's, like sends them money. He has a clean image. And I think it's very disrespectful to reference a guy who is very positive, a black man at that, as a simp. We got to stop doing that. Like, y'all really should be uplifting other black men. That's a major problem to me. Like, why does he have to be a simp? The word simp is just overused and play out. I agree. Oh, okay, Travis. So here's something. If Russell is a simp, would you prefer that for your daughter? Or do you prefer that she goes with the hood boogers, Futures of the world? Do you want your daughter to date a simp? Would you be happy if your daughter brought home a Russell Wilson? Hold on now. Reapply my lip gloss real quick. Would you want your daughter to date a Russell Wilson? Oh, no, it's not. That's not the point. It is the point. Because y'all can't be sitting here bad, because you know what's going to end up happening? You guys out here calling Russell Wilson and men like him simps. That's not a positive word. So I imagine that some men out there, like, they don't want to be seen as less than or be labeled something derogatory. So they might see something wrong with being that type of man. So are we not encouraging men to be like that? Like, why is Russell Wilson a simp? Let's answer that first, because I don't think I've seen a clear answer on that. I'm gonna keep looking. You wouldn't want your daughter to bring home a Russell Wilson. You telling me you wouldn't want your daughter? Is he a quarterback, right? Highly paid quarterback, got coins, God-fearing man who takes care of your daughter, even if she had a child with someone else. You saying you wouldn't want that for her? What do you want for her then? Enlighten the folks. Because I'm always telling about it. You got you a running back who ain't cheating on you? What? Quarterback, running back. What is he? What is Russell Wilson's position? Actually, let's make up how much he made. Russell Wilson net worth. Let's start with that, and then we'll look at how much he made. So his net worth roughly 175 million. And he's under a contract right now for $296 million. Why would you not want that for your daughter? Sorry, I just came from therapy. I am me. You got to catch up now. Right now we're talking about Russell Wilson being a simp, right? And the conversation that we're having right now is with why men who are like that, who have the image of a Russell Wilson, one, why are they considered a simp? But two, we're asking, would you want your daughters to bring home that type of man? I think that it ain't nothing wrong with bringing home a Russell Wilson, okay? The other perspective is no, they wouldn't want their daughter to bring home that kind of man. So what kind of man do you want your daughter to date? Okay. I want to acknowledge this. I want to acknowledge this. Is Russell Wilson only a catch because his money, though? Take the money away, and I would still want my daughter to be with a man like him. Well, what I'm saying is he has the money, and from what we see, of course, this is all what we see. He seems to be a very very well-rounded man. This is why people are calling him a square, even though we're saying he's well-rounded, right? But that's why he's seen as a square. I think those are great qualities to have. But my original point was this. I feel like you cannot necessarily separate a man, his money, the resources, and his ability to provide and say, if I took away all those things, would he still be a catch? When those are the things that help make a man a catch. If I literally look like a toe right now, right? I was a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. And I have all these great qualities still. Like I'm still intelligent. I have all this and that. You really gonna sit here and tell me that you guys think my value, the way that the world sees me, would be the same if I stripped all the things that I'm valued for as a woman away? It doesn't work like that. Women are valued for their looks. Women who look better, they are valued higher. Men are valued for their money and their resources. So I feel like that's an irrelevant question. Like, why would we even go there? I'd be single. Exactly. I would be single. Or I would be one of those women who men circle back. They spin a block for later on in life when they realize that all the attractive women ain't really about nothing. So they're like, okay, let me settle. Well, usually it's like a 5 or a 6, but let me settle maybe with this 2. She got a face for radio, but it's okay. But that's what I think. Let's see what else we got. They must want their daughter to marry a Diddy then. Have money, but treat her like trash. What do you guys want? I want my daughter happy. She was like Fiona on Shrek wanting Prince Charming, but ended up with Shrek. Okay. But what we're saying is, I think Sierra got Prince Charming mixed with Shrek. So I think, me personally, I think that she's winning, right? Of course, I think that at the end of the day, it shouldn't just be based on what a man can give you if he doesn't have that substance. But we're saying that she has both. From a woman's perspective, Sierra has the best of both worlds. So we're trying to understand why you guys see a problem with bringing home someone like Russell Wilson. His personality is fake as fuck. How? How do you know that his personality is fake? Talk to the people. Russell has no spine. How do y'all know that? Have y'all ever seen Russell get into an altercation with a man? Or even get into an altercation with his wife, and it was like she ran the show, she overpowered him. How are you guys making these assumptions about him without knowing this information? How are y'all doing that? Y'all men got to stop the denial now. Y'all would love a man like Russell to marry your daughter. Yeah. I got a question. J.A. Bound, I got to challenge your thought real quick. Sierra wanted a bad boy and she couldn't keep him. So now she settles for simp Russ. Now, when women talk about settling, right? We use the term settling. You shouldn't see it as settling because you have a well-rounded guy. We can't say that. But now you're saying that Sierra had a bad boy. That's what she wanted, realized that wasn't working. And now she's settling. Why is that settling versus being seen as upgrading? I thought that settling, to me, settling is like dealing with someone who gives you less than you deserve, which it doesn't seem like he does. Maybe dating somebody who's a broke cook booger with multiple baby mamas, which he was not. So how did Sierra settle? People want to know. How can an NFL quarterback have no spine? Makes no sense. Let's see. If we establish marriage as contract and business, then Sierra just signed a great deal. Logically, she did what makes sense. Right. So if we're saying that marriage... Oh, we're telling you what we know. Okay, let me go back. Jay Bounce says, you guys answer my question, but I'm not looking. So let me see. Patricia, help me out here in these comments. Who am I missing that is answering the question that we're asking? Okay. Maybe that's why, because men call him a simp. Future didn't need Russell Wilson's money to get Sierra. But I'm trying to understand what Future's relationship with Sierra has to do with Russell Wilson being a simp to his wife. I just want to make sure I'm understanding that correctly. So you're saying that because Future didn't have a lot of money when he was with Sierra, which technically he did have money, but he didn't have Russell Wilson money. Russell Wilson is now a simp because she dated someone who didn't have money before, like that. Like I'm just trying to understand. Mental disorder. But we see a man. Okay, no. We're not about to do this. I'm gonna go there. I said this a little bit earlier. To Black men, we see a man like Russell who worked to get himself where he is, subject himself to a woman who settled for him. Russell deserved a woman without the baggage of Future and his own kid first. Why do we not have the same energy for this white woman who cheated on Russell Wilson, and that's the reason why he's with Sierra in the first place? I'm sorry. Can we talk about this? Because I don't think that you guys would have that same type of energy if it wasn't a melanated woman. Oh, I might ruffle some feathers today. This woman legit cheated on him. I don't hear nobody mention anything about his ex-wife. Why y'all all coming for Sierra? This woman ain't got no history of cheating on him. Yes, she did have a child. He chose to deal with a woman with a child. Okay. What the freak? But the woman who cheated, infidelity in their marriage, she doesn't get no slack. Oh, how did that make sense? She cheated on him because he's a simp. So why I'm not coming for her like that? Okay, just saying. We don't care about that white woman. Exactly. Okay. Because the white woman skated off into the night. Right. She just coasting. Right. And if that same woman ended up with another well-known athlete, would y'all be saying the same things about her? Is it just because Sierra has a name recognition? Or does it matter if she's famous or not? If Sierra was just a no-name woman, Black woman, same situation, baby dad, dealt with someone who was a pookie, hood booger, whatever the case, would y'all still feel the same way about the situation? I'm consistent. I don't think he's a simp, but I don't think he's the type of man that was her first choice. Why is that a problem? I am trying to understand. We can acknowledge the fact that women's first choice, specifically Black women's first choice, is probably not going to be the type of man that is good for her in the long run because we are not raised to be marriage minded. So it is very irrelevant to say that he was not her first choice. The men who I used to deal with when I was a teenager, early 20s, I would not pick them now. So technically, the men who I date now are not my first choice, but I understand that I shouldn't have picked those men. Why is that seen as a bad thing? Like, do you just want women to, like, if you don't pick the right man right away, it's just done for you? Like, it's always seen as bad if you do pick the right man? What's the problem? I'm trying to understand. He wasn't even her third choice, so she settled. Help me understand that. So because she hadn't met him in life at that point, he's her third, fourth, fifth, sixth type choice? What do you mean by that? Okay, let's talk about it. Brother Nigel, okay, preach to the congregation today. Maybe it's difficulty in seeing a healthy Black man. I actually agree with this. Honestly, I think that we say that we appreciate men who are operating from a healthy space, but if we're being real, men who are operating from a healthy space, those are the men who appreciate women. And those men who appreciate women are usually the ones who are characterized as being simps. So is it a problem where society, the Black community, just isn't used to seeing a healthy Black man? Let us know what you think. I think that we really glorify dysfunction. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think that the idea of seeing a healthy Black man in a healthy relationship with a Black woman, one, you guys feel like the woman isn't deserving of that if she had a spotted past, we'll say. But also, I just don't think that you guys are used to men operating in that domain. Black people, we have to do better. Yes. That is the over. If you guys don't remember anything from this live today, you guys need to remember that we need to do better, because this sounds like nonsense to me. I read through all these comments, so please forgive me if I am skipping over something. I don't understand the reasoning why a woman is not able to learn from her mistakes, correct her behavior, move differently, and now have a healthy relationship with the man. What is the problem with that? Yes, he might not have been her first choice, but he's her final choice. That is the man that she hopefully will be with for the rest of her life. So who she messed with beyond that point is completely irrelevant. I'd rather be someone's last one than the first one that they're not dealing with anymore. That doesn't make any sense to me. Dysfunction is like a social movement for Black people, unfortunately. Yep. So should we always be making the same decisions and living bad lifestyles, or should we choose to change for the better? I mean, that's a valid question. What do you propose that people do? What do you guys propose that people do? Keep making the same bad decisions? If people don't learn from their mistakes and make better decisions, and we stay in this space of making bad decisions, how are we ever going to grow as a people? Isn't that what you guys should want? They have a healthy family unit. The kids seem happy. They have beautiful Black children. Isn't that what we want? And you guys are still making a problem out of it. Child. Save society. Bless these people, Lord. It don't make sense. Up is down, left is right. Why can't y'all let Russ live? I understand. Okay. Patricia, let's talk about this. We'll switch it up a little bit. I'll ease up the heat a little bit on the men's in the chat. Talk about Russell Wilson. Why Black people always trying to make a good thing look bad. I agree. And before I touch on this, Patricia, I agree. Like, whenever there's a healthy Black couple, I feel like people always say things like they're always looking for cheating allegations. Something has to be happening, because there's just no way that they could be that happy. It has to be for social media. It has to be X, Y, and Z. And it's like, why? It's like it makes us feel uncomfortable maybe to see other people happy and flourishing and, doing what they got to do to have a successful life, truly happy, because we're not happy within ourselves. Crazy. The roach is more sophisticated than the birds. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Okay, Patricia, you brought up a point about you don't want your son dismissing a woman because of her past. So I guess this is the thing. How much should a woman's past factor into her potential to land a high quality man in the present? Because I think that now, Patricia, what I will say is that I think a lot of women nowadays, they understand that they might have a checkered past. And so they are a little bit more gracious when it comes to understanding people who date their kids. But I don't know if a lot of people feel that way. So do you feel like women are more understanding of women having, again, checkered past because we might have had checkered past? Or do you think in general, this is just something that all people should do? Is it healthy for you to, I don't want to say condone, but accept your daughter or your son dating someone who might have had a past? So it's kind of like, if we flip it, if you have a daughter and she's dealing with someone who had a bad boy past, he smashed all types of women, he used to use women left and right, would you feel comfortable allowing your daughter to date that man? Trashy Goose says, I would want better for my son. Tell women to expect the world, but her son got to take the baggage. How y'all feel about that? We tell women to expect the world, but sons have to take the baggage. I've been cheated on twice, dumped, and I have a child outside of wedlock before I met my wife. She still married me. Is she a simp? Is she a simp? I don't think she would be a simp. I think she would just be a woman. Women tend to be more forgiving about men's past, or being more lenient with their standards than men are. But I think that's also normalized. But see, the thing is, like, I think that we also see people's past in a different way. Like, a man can smash a whole bunch of different women and we won't see it as a problem, even though a lot of men are out here smashing women because they have unhealed trauma. They don't really have healthy relationships with women from childhood, so they treat women like dirt. But we will kind of normalize that and say, oh, it's normal for men to sleep around. What do you mean? Like, sex is not the same, even though there's a lot of underlying crap that could tie into why a man can't commit, which is a problem. But we only see it as a problem with women because if she slept with multiple men, she's a whore. She can't pair bond. She has a reputation that I can't deal with, so on and so forth. So I think there's a lot of that playing and coming into play as well. Bye, Nigel. I don't know if I missed you, but enjoy the fight. Thank you for joining. Hold on. We going back to Sierra and Russell Wilson, Lord Jesus. Okay. Would Sierra have chosen Russell if the situation was the same reverse? If Russell had a crazy baby mom like Future, what do you mean by that, though? Are you referencing Sierra as the crazy baby mom? Because let's acknowledge Future got about like 8 or 9 baby moms. So who are you talking about? And it's kind of weird because it's like we can't really say this example is irrelevant because Sierra did choose Future. Like, that was her reality. He had baby mamas, a lot of them, and they were engaged. Like, she was going to marry that man, but he cheated on her. So she would have chosen him if he had been faithful. So is that considered settling? Probably. I don't think that she should have deserved that, but that's what she chose. So what we saying? Just because they say, I think hip hop has a lot to do with it. I'm just challenging mentalities. The simp and pick me terms are way overused. Oh Lord, I need some water, child. We might have to do a commercial break. Yes. So I have said this time and time again. Simp and pick me have become terms people use when they don't agree with the way a person thinks. If they move in a way that triggers them some kind of way, you're automatically a simp or a pick me. And I know that for sure because I have been called those things. And I know for a fact I piss men off. So how is it possible to be a pick me and pissing men off at the same time? I don't understand. But yes, very, very overused. Going back to the example. When you put it like that, LOL, I have a past, so that's what makes me more understanding. So I think this is like a valid question that this generation of women have to ask ourselves. Should we be more understanding? Because the reality is that our sons or our daughters are dating men or women that might come from broken homes who didn't have a lot of guidance, and they're not as traditional as they were before. So is it realistic for us to have high expectations for people that our children are dating, or should we be more understanding because we know it's messed up and we should be trying to help these people with healing, helping the next generation? That's something to think about. I don't have kids, so I ain't got to process it yet, but that is something to think about. Why y'all always talking about Sierra twerking? Y'all know Russell like that, right? They literally got videos where she's twerking and he's sitting on a chair, like cigar type energy, just watching her. That man likes that. Did you guys know that Russell Wilson said he knew that he was going to marry Sierra when she was in her ride video? Y'all know that video where she did all types of twerking and grinding and stuff. He's like, that's my woman right there. So you guys are bringing up things that are irrelevant to him. It's like you guys think that she's disrespecting him when that's what he likes. He likes that she's a little bit spicy. That's what I think. They seem like they have great sex. He always want to make babies with her. So what's the problem? If he is okay with that, why is it a problem for you guys? That's the real tea. Why I get so bothered by men who are happy in their situation. Just because you wouldn't like it don't mean nothing. Duh, conservative guys are freaks. I know he likes that. Right. Y'all see here. I think y'all underestimate Russell Wilson. I think you guys have like a church boy image of him. And that meant what y'all know what they say about church girls. I think the same thing for church guys or men like Russell Wilson. Their public appearance is one way. Behind closed doors, baby. That is a full-grown man. Okay. Don't underestimate him now. Okay. Say anything to keep her. Of course. But then it kind of goes into hold on, wait. Oh my gosh. You know what, guys? I feel like I really need to take a commercial break. We've been on this for 2 hours and 25 minutes. I need to take like a 2-minute break. If you guys want to chill, refill your drink. I need to refill my drink. I ran out about an hour ago. I'll refill my drink. We're going to cue some music. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about body count. I feel like this is a great segue because this is a hot topic. So we gonna get into it. Get your talking points ready. And we will be back in a few seconds. Da, 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 da. All right, folks, we are back. I have my drink. I'm feeling refreshed. You know what? Y'all, we can't do body count today. I know, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. This is a conversation that I'm having on another live. So we can't go into detail. I'm sorry. I did the okie doke to y'all. This will be a whole nother conversation. We literally will be sitting here until midnight. Body count. What I will say, this will be a segue. If you guys watched my last live, we had Kit. Kit was live from the UK. We're going to be coming back probably next week or so, and we're going to discuss body count. And I think that for my next live, I want to actually have you guys like hop in the call. So if you guys feel comfortable talking, then we'll do that. But we gotta we can't do it right now. Let me pick a different comment. Let me pick a different comment. We can't do that. Okay. Patricia, get back on this call. Okay. We're back from our commercial break. Let's go back to this because Trey says he doesn't give a F about Russell and Sierra. It's the delusional masses reciting Sierra's prayer, thinking they can also catch lightning. It's craziness. Here's the thing, though. I think that people look to celebrity relationships as a way of having, something to look forward to. Like that's an example for them because we don't really have those examples in our community, like in our families and things like that. So I don't think that there's a problem with looking at people like that to an extent as like your motivation. Like that's Black love. That's something that you should aim for. So why is it delusional? I mean, would you rather a woman like you see that as a goal? Like, dang, I want to get me a Russell too. What I got to do to correct my behavior and get that person versus being out here in these streets? You see me? The commercial break music. Shout out to my cousin. He actually does beats. And so he will be the beats that I'm featuring on all of my live streams, just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. Oh, gosh. So a lot of the comments are talk about body count. I don't know if you guys missed it. We can't talk about body count today because we're actually going to be doing a whole separate live about that. So we're going to tap back into that next week. So stay tuned. There was a comment that we kind of went past that I wanted to go back to before we leave today. And I think this is actually a really important comment. So TBF Furball, I don't know if you're still in here. But TBF Furball said that we are all too focused on dating our own race. That alone, destroying relationships, that could change the world. I don't know what he meant by the last part, but I do want to focus on, I think we're all too focused on dating our own race. Because this is something that is coming up a lot. If you should date out, if you should marry out, that type of thing. Is it a problem for you to focus on dating your own race? Thank you. Thank you for complimenting my glasses. Bron's been ducking on other women too. Lord Jesus. Are you LeBron and his wife may be a better example? Hold on, pause. We'll get back to this comment. LeBron, and at one point, I think it was a rumor about Aisha and Steph Curry, but that died down. I personally think that most successful marriages with men who are in the spotlight, they're successful because they are allowed to dip out on the side. So, hold on, God, y'all, we gonna be on this damn live all night. Goodness gracious, hold on, let me change the banner. I think that most men who are high profile, they are in marriages that last because they are allowed to mess with other women. As Kevin Samuels used to say, that's them exercising their options. What do y'all think about that? So I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James is dipping out with other people. But does that change the love that they have for each other in the marriage? Now we're going into a whole non-monogamous situation, which you guys saw. Hopefully you saw me and Tara's video talking about this. I have heard very interesting perspectives on this, so I'd like to know what you guys think. People wouldn't call LeBron a simp with how his wife treats him, though. Is it about how his wife treats him, or is it about how his wife displays herself? Because if we go back, I think that Sierra and Savannah, in terms of the love that they have for their husbands, it's very similar. But I think you guys are more so focused on Sierra's past and how she presents herself versus Savannah. So is it the fact that Savannah, she's been with LeBron since high school and she doesn't present herself in that way? She's not leaving LeBron. Absolutely. There's no way in hell. Leaving LeBron James and you've been with him since he ain't have nothing, there's no way. She gonna be there. She gonna be there. Most high profile men aren't dipping out on their woman. Look how modest Savannah is compared to Sierra. Yeah, but like that was her image before she got married, though. This be the thing. Like, she's a whole artist, and her image, she danced more sexually. Like, she winded and stuff when she came out. I know she could dance. Like, she's very good at choreographed dance moves, but that was her image. That's not Savannah's image. So does it make her a better wife because her image was something before she got married and she remained that way, versus Savannah, who I really don't know what her image was before they got money, but I don't know of her image. I just know her through LeBron. Not minimizing her at all, because she seems like an amazing woman, but it just doesn't seem fair to compare that. They're in two different lanes. Oh, talk about it. Orange Blossom says, exercising your options is the opposite of high value behavior. I never understood Kevin Samuels when he explained the concept. Hey, Danger, welcome to the chat. You are right on time, baby. Thank you for joining. We are still going 2.5 hours in. Too many young Miamis and not enough Savannah James. Okay. We believe in Savannah because she stuck with him. She didn't come into him after he was a finished product like Russell. Okay. That's valid. Do you think Sierra would pick Russell if he was an average corporate $70K up guy? I think that we are going back to this topic of status and things like that. I think it's hard to okay, so we're comparing Savannah James and LeBron. And I do agree that's a valid point. She was with him before he didn't have anything. But they are both two people who didn't have anything together. They met when they were in high school. I think it's a little bit different when you have a woman who is a millionaire. She has her own money. She's famous. And now you're asking, would she pick someone who isn't established? Because that's kind of two different lanes. So I'm not sure that would be a good comparison. Now, if Sierra wasn't famous and rich, that'll be a little bit different. But I'm not sure that's a fair comparison. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? We'll never know. I just feel like people who have money usually do better with dating other people who have money when it comes to men dating women. Okay, so if Savannah James is highly regarded as being an amazing wife, is LeBron in the wrong for having side pieces? Because this has come out a couple times. Like, Kendrick says, are you saying you were at an industry event? It was a person at an industry event who bragged about dating a ball player that fit the description of LeBron. This has come up other times in the media, but they're just kind of hush-hush about it. So is he wrong for cheating or exercising his options, per se, on this woman who is an ideal role model wife? Is he wrong? There was another comment. Orange Blossom. Exercising your options is the opposite of high value behavior. And I never understood Kevin Samuels when he explained the concept. So this kind of goes hand in hand. Are you a high value man if you decide to step outside of your marriage? And is LeBron wrong if he is doing that to Savannah? Define Richmond compared to Russell. Okay, we going back to the same things, guys. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. It isn't okay. The comment was, it's a fair comparison because a man who's a millionaire can marry the girl at Starbucks if she brings peace. That's because women are not valued for money. Okay. You can't tell a woman who values men who have money and resources that she should take somebody who works at Starbucks. It's different. Men don't care about that, but women do. Women are looking for someone who can provide and protect. Okay. So it's not going to be the same dynamic. It's not a fair comparison. Yes, LeBron is wrong because if you're married, you're exclusive. Otherwise, you're breaking up the family, burning money, and destroying your life. But I guess the playing devil's advocate, is he breaking up the family and destroying their lives if Savannah is aware of what he's doing? Because I'm 1,000% sure if he is sleeping with women on the side, Savannah knows about it. So is he still wrong? Should he just be like, yeah, I know my wife is like okay with it, but not do it? She's had LeBron money that made her an instant millionaire. I know nothing she does except be his wife. Is that a bad thing? Is it bad to just be a person's wife? Should you have your own identity outside of that? Because I think we're getting mixed comments on Savannah. So how do you guys feel about her? She's highly regarded as a wife, but at the same time, you guys are saying that her identity, everything that we know about her, the resources she has wealth and things like that because she's attached to this person. So what does that say about her? Kevin Samuels actually said he doesn't advocate for cheating. I can show you the clip. He only said he was passing the message about what high value men will do. Okay. That's fair. I personally haven't seen that clip. He very well may have said that. So I guess the biggest thing is, regardless of what Kevin Samuels agreed with or not, is it wrong for high value men to be exercising their options / cheating? We're just assuming LeBron cheats on the side. His inner circle says all he does is work on his game and work out and look at his business acumen. Do you think he has time to cheat? I think that his inner circle would lie for him. If his inner circle is guys, I don't know if you missed this part of the lie, but a part of the bro code is that you have an oath of silence. You are not about to tell what your homie is doing. So I do think that if he is cheating, they won't tell. But I do think that they have time. What do you mean they don't have time? Where do you think he goes after his games? He doesn't go back to hotels. Does he sleep? Is Savannah in the hotels with him? Like, I think that when you're a man with money, you have easier access to cheat, honestly. I mean, once a week, fly a girl out real quick, get it done, whoop, whoop, real quick. You don't have to spend a lot of time on that. So it's possible. Absolutely possible. Oh, okay. This reminded me. We were talking about Ayesha Curry earlier. Steph better not get caught cheating. Ayesha Curry will take his money and let Future hit for attention. She's ready to thirst trap because she needs attention from guys. All right. Unpopular opinion. I understood what Ayesha Curry meant when she said that. And I've had this debate with both men and women. I don't really think she was saying that she feels like she obviously wants to cheat on Steph. But I think that y'all don't understand. For one, I think that being with a famous person, especially of Steph Curry's stature, it's hard to kind of have your own identity because you're constantly in the background per se because that person is in the spotlight. So a lot of it, like I think at one point they were saying that she goes to all of his games and she stays in the hotels with him and stuff. That's a lot. Like her whole life is, Aisha said what she said and we're not going to defend her. Well, I'm going to finish my point. Okay. I'm going to talk about it. Thank you very much. I think that when so much of your identity is wrapped around a person and you become a mother and, you know, that's a whole nother different type of thing. So it's like you're a mom, you're a wife, you don't really have an identity for yourself. you do tend to lose yourself a little bit. And if you're insecure about your body after you've had kids, you just don't feel as attractive as you used to. It might be nice for someone when you're outside walking to say, "You look pretty today." Because you feel like, okay, I actually look pretty. This isn't just my husband telling me this because he loves me. Kind of like how when people, I'm going to go to hell for saying this, but I already started to say it. Kind of like if people think their kids are super cute, but then other people might see their kids and be like, they're not that cute. That might be how she feels about being his wife. Like, okay, he loves me, so he thinks I'm beautiful. If you get a compliment from somebody else, and it doesn't have to be a sexual compliment, just you look nice today. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting that affirmation from other people? Do you feel like that goes away when you get married? Because I don't think that's realistic. That's kind of like the people who say that when you get married or you're in a relationship, you just like you're not attracted to anybody else. You don't see attractive people. That's not realistic. People like to get compliments from people. It makes you feel good. But that's how I feel. Y'all let me know how y'all think or what y'all think. She feels not important. She was a Disney star who had all the attention. That was about. She was a Disney star? Let me Google this. What was Ayesha Curry on? A Disney star. I kind of want to look this up now. She came. So she had some cameos on Hannah Montana. Interesting. Yeah, I think the thing that people don't really understand is that people are human, right? You becoming a wife doesn't change the fact that you have human tendencies. And it is hard if you're dealing with someone and you feel like all of the focus is on them. And like you're dedicating your time to them, you're dedicating your time to your kids. You might not have that time to yourself. And I think that Steph Curry understands that, which is why he defended his wife. But it's another situation where a man defends his wife and y'all still talking about it. She was on Degrassi. For real? Who was she on Degrassi? I actually used to watch Degrassi since I was in like 6th or 7th grade. So I'm really interested to see who she was. Interesting. But I don't really feel like it's so interesting though. And this is the thing. Just how quick the public opinion can change of somebody. Because at one point it was be like Ayesha Curry. You should be like her. You know, she is dedicated to her husband. She's a Christian woman. She cooks. She does all this stuff. And the moment, all she said was, it would be nice to get attention from other people. All of a sudden, she's a whore who cheats, or wants to cheat. Come on now. You guys got to give people grace. That's not realistic. That's not realistic. Y'all think Steph Curry doesn't get, if a woman were to be like, hey, Steph, oh my God, we love you, or you look good today. You think that doesn't make him feel good? He gets the gratification from other people on a regular basis because he's Steph Curry. Do you think Ayesha gets that? I don't know. I think maybe I'm just a little bit more understanding. I think she's sexy, but I think she wants men to lust after her like women lust after Steph. That's what she really wants. Okay, let's further this thought. Is that such an unrealistic expectation? And maybe that has it's rooted in some insecurity, right? But do you think if y'all were dealing with a woman, right, who got tons of attention from men all the time, she's a supermodel, maybe, she gets thousands of likes, comments, hard eyes, people DMing her, want to send her money, all types of stuff. Do you feel like you would feel better about the situation if you felt like you got an equal amount of attention, or does that not matter to men? How would you guys feel about that? What does that even mean? If a man has 9 baby mamas, it's never the same as a woman having 9 baby daddies. I feel strongly about this statement. We'll talk about that in a second. If she acts on that attention, but she didn't say she wanted to act on it. It's the simple act of feeling like you want attention. Y'all about to make me, y'all not about to sit here at like you guys are perfect people up in this chat. Let's think outside of marriage and stuff. You have on a really, really dope outfit today, right? You go outside and 10 people compliment you on your outfit, right? You feel really good about yourself versus you put all this time into your appearance. You got a haircut, you looking fresh. Nobody compliments you. That's not gonna make you feel some kind of way. Even if you in a relationship, you mean to tell me it's not gonna feel good to get a compliment? I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting compliments. Acting on it is something different. She's in a hotel to protect her peace. She knows the chicks in the room with certain players, but Steph, the prize they really want, she's guard dogging. Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. She said, I'm coming up in the hotel room with you so you don't act up. But imagine that. So feeling like you have to do that. You have to be a guard dog. You have to be with your man in all of his games so that he doesn't cheat. Do you know how that makes a woman feel? That makes her feel insecure. So I can understand why she feels that way. Why does a wife need attention and validation from other men? Again, I feel like y'all know I like psychology, right? I feel like you guys think that wife, husband, marriage kind of undermines the way that humans work. Humans like to feel wanted. They like to be appreciated. They like to receive compliments. It's gratification. That does not change if you're married. We go on about this all day. Asked this question earlier. Are men and women the same? Hold on, wait. The message it sends to men is that even when you're Steph Curry, damn, probably a billionaire one day, you can give your wife 99.9% of the men. You could give your wife what 99.9% of the men on the planet can. She still wants other attention. It's a valid point. How do y'all feel about that? For those who are still in the chat, rocking almost 3 hours in. Let's go. I love y'all. You guys are the best. How do y'all feel about that? And I guess the flip question is, how do you think women feel? Like a woman like Savannah James. You've been with your dude when he ain't have nothing. You're modest. You carry yourself in a classy way. You've given him children. You've been his support system. If you still dipping out with women on the side, which is worse than wanting attention, how do you think she feel? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm sure her DMs are filled with stuff on red. Probably. Women sometimes say what they don't mean. I think she meant it. I think she just didn't expect to get the backlash that she did. They gotta be the two most successful light-skinned couples in sports history. They light-skinned for real, for real, for real. For real, for real. Doesn't matter to men. We giving her that strong pipe that night. Men want men to look at his woman. So if men want men to look at their woman, why is it such a crime for a woman to say that she would like to get attention from men? Because you guys obviously want her to get attention from men. So how does that make sense? Thank you, girl. There's men in the chat. I feel like if anyone can resonate with wanting attention, it's a man. There's men in the chat who, if roles were reversed, would be justifying the same mindset. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you would get it. You mean to tell me if you've been married for 50 years. Okay, that's probably a little bit of stress. You're going to be old. Let's say you've been married for 20-ish years and you're like mid-40s, close to 50. And you go out and this young girl gives you attention. Like she's complimenting you. You look good, whatever. That's not going to make you feel good about yourself. You could love your wife, but the fact that you're getting attention from someone, especially someone who's younger, it makes you feel like, dang, I still got it. Okay, like maybe I'm not washed up. That's how she feels. Like, why is that so hard to understand? Compliments are fine. Thirst trapping is different. I understand. A woman is a reflection of her man. A man is a reflection of his woman too. We a partnership. What you mean? You are me and I am you. We are a unit. It's not one-sided. But that, like, help me understand that. Thank you so much for checking my channel out, figuring ish out. I appreciate you. Cannot wait to collab with you guys in the future. I think she... She guards Steph. Yes, absolutely. Okay, guys. So we gotta wrap this thing up. We gotta wrap this thing up. But there was one thing that I did want to close off with before we end it. Dating within our race or dating outside of our race. How do y'all feel about that? I made a video, I don't know if you guys watched it, just proposing the idea about women dating outside of their race, and men were really, really, really pissed off about it, which I was really surprised about. And so I want to know how you guys feel about this in 2022. Dating outside of your race. Is it worth it? Should you only be dating within your race? What do you guys think? I don't like it. You don't like it being dating outside of your race? Why is that? Why is that? Go for it. Go for it. Find the best thing for you. Okay. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. That shouldn't matter. I feel like this, when people say it shouldn't matter, I feel like that's the thing that kind of bothers me, because I don't think people go around telling other cultures who are very particular about keeping things within their race that it shouldn't matter to them. Like, they understand the aspect of continuing their lineage and continuing their culture. So I'm not sure if I would say it shouldn't matter, but I do agree with not just settling for people who don't appreciate you. But so check it out. This was my perspective in the video. What I was saying is, like, okay, men are obviously trying to date outside of their race because they feel like Western women, I'm gonna say that, because I think men are willing to date other women who are Black but in other countries. That's where the whole passport bros thing is coming in. But for the men who are here who are like, I'm gonna date other races of women only, right? They do that because they feel those women possess qualities that Black women don't have. Okay, cool. So my perspective was this, right? Women are, I don't know how you guys are going to react to this. Women are asking for men who make X amount of money, who have a certain status in their career, so on and so forth. And just going by stats that have been regurgitated on the internet, the average Black man, I want to say, makes, was it like 40-ish, 40 something K per year, maybe 45, 47K. And so I propose the idea, again, if we are looking for things that the people within our culture don't have, should women be looking elsewhere? If they want men who are educated, want men formally educated, want men who are making X amount of money, is that wrong? And the response, mostly men were pissed about it. So how do you guys feel about women choosing to date outside of their race versus men doing it? She don't have to be American per se, but gotta be melanated. I feel that. I feel like that's kind of where I'm at with it too. I've dated outside of my race before, as long as what child is drink catching it up. As long as it is not out of spite, go for it. Yes, that is all I say as well. Like, I don't think that you should be dating other races of women because you have disdain and you feel like you got to bash women in the process. I don't agree with that. I know that some people choose to date outside of their race to kind of whitewash their family, and I don't really like that. So as long as you're doing it from a healthy place, I say go for it. But if it's a result of unhealed trauma, for example, your mom, you weren't too happy with her, so you're like, oh my gosh, she's a representation of all Black women, I can't deal with them, that's a problem. You need healing. So I do agree with that. We gotta do better. This might be its own live, but the passport bro subject is a possible topic. Yes, honey, that is going to be another live. Yeah, so stay tuned, y'all. I have so many ideas for these Wednesdays. Like, you guys, it's going to be so dope, I swear. Orange Blossom. Yes, I think that you have an interesting perspective. So Orange Blossom says, as a Latina, I want to bring home someone Spanish speaking because it seems easier, but I'm attracted to all races, and I don't think I'm strong enough to resist someone I like over color. And so I think this is the thing for Black people. It's not really about, like, for you, what you see a value as like someone who speaks the same language as you, and it's easier to blend in with your family. For a lot of Black people, I think it's like understanding, having someone who understands our experiences because they've been through it. And it's just certain things that you don't have to explain to other Black people the way I would have to explain to other people who are not Black. So it's like a similar dynamic, but we're kind of valuing different things. But I do find all races attractive for the most part. I've personally never dated, never been intimate with anyone outside of my race, but I do find people attractive. I think that if I found the perfect guy, he possessed every other quality that I wanted, I don't know if I would turn him away just because he's not Black. But that wouldn't be my top choice. But Black women have had the opportunity to date outside. All women of all races have the opportunity more than men. You know what? This is a conversation I was recently having with someone. Do you guys think that Black women have that much of an opportunity to date outside of their race? Or I guess a better way to phrase this is, do you think that the stigmas against Black women are so negative that other races of people are kind of hesitant about dealing with Black women? Because that might limit our options a little bit more than what you think. I think women should go to I think women should go to the dudes who be it. Yo, why am I struggling so much to read this font? I think women should go to them who be Andrew Child. You're gonna have to help me out. I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. Okay. I answered you above about the reflection comment. Okay, Baseball King. I'm sorry. I've dated outside my race back in high school, probably never again. I've come across the nice women of other races. I turn them down. It's hard because I love sisters to death, but y'all be frustrating. Literally, I feel like that's how I feel. At one point, I was really frustrated, but my frustration was more so like with the men who are on the internet talking about how Black women aren't this and all Black women are that. And I kind of felt like we became this monolith where I'm like a woman who's really out here trying to understand Black men. And just because I'm Black, which I can't change, it's like I have this negative stigma on me. And that's what made me frustrated. So I do understand the part about being frustrated. But then I kind of learned to just focus on the men who aren't like that and try not to skew my perception, because that can definitely lead to bias. But I feel you, it is frustrating. And I think that's the biggest thing just with me being on this journey with my channel and stuff. I want so bad for us to get it right. Like, I just feel like the potential is there. We could really understand each other, but both parties have to be willing. And a lot of people aren't willing. But yes, I want my kids to be Blackity Black. Melanin, please. Yes, I feel it. I may do my own solo live stream further speaking about gender wars, including the passport bros from a Christian preacher's perspective. Feel free to tune in. That would be dope. Or if you want to tune in whenever we talk about that topic, I would love to have you. Like, if you want to do a joint live, we could definitely do that. But I think it would be interesting to get your perspective from more of a Christian aspect. So I think that would be dope. I have a slight preference for Black women, but I'm open-minded. That's why I said it don't matter as long as we're on the same wavelength. Okay. Men want exes? Men want, what does that mean? If any woman of any race pushes up on any men of another race, she got a chance to get it. Okay. Maybe that's the problem. I'm not trying, but I also don't feel comfortable with pushing up on people. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's a me thing, but I've never, one time I would say, a couple times I've had white men try to approach me, but most men just don't. I don't know if it's the vibe I give off, but it just doesn't happen for me. So yeah. Oh, they want sex. Gotcha. Okay. All right, folks. It is 10 o'clock. I can't believe we've been on this live for 3 hours. I am so thankful for you guys. When I say that you guys are the best, like I said, I was so nervous doing this, but I love just kicking it and vibing with y'all. So we got to get ready to close this thing out. So, what to expect? So, I'm still going to be doing my videos that are pre-recorded, but every Wednesday we're going to go live. The goal is 7 p.m. for Wind Down Wednesdays, and I might do some lives throughout the week. If you enjoy this live stream, please make sure you like, comment, share. If you're not subscribed and you were tuning in, please make sure you do so. I hope you guys get some sleep tonight. And I don't know if I was the only one drinking, but next time y'all better have y'all drinks ready. But much love to you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of your week. Until next time. Bye, family.